Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. We are live and back at it again, folks. Welcome to the Wrestling for Life Network. We got another live stream as NXT Great American Bash kicks off your Tuesday night. It's going to be a fun one, folks. I hope everyone out there is happy, healthy, and safe. Make sure you get in that chat. Click all the buttons. I see it blowing up already, and we want to see triple digits in this chat here tonight. So strap in, strap on, grab your snacks, grab your feel good, and let's go. Ding, ding, ding. We are live and back at it again, folks. Like I said, this is the Wrestling for Life Network. This is another live stream, and we have the Great American Bash to get into tonight. It's going to be a fun one, folks, so make sure you get in that chat. Let us know what's on your wrestling mind. Coming off the heels of SummerSlam and a crazy Raw last night, we're set for a stacked Great American Bash tonight. And, of course, we're here all week long for all your favorite wrestling. So like I said, I hope everyone out there is happy, healthy, and safe. If you are new here, join the Wrestling Utopia. Join the wrestling friends you can't find in your real life and be a part of the family, be a part of the shows, as we will be here for all the live reaction to all the action all night long. It's going to be a fun one. Me and that pretty face going to take you through everything. But I will remind you, I am Mr. Evernight KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube. And that is Mr. Big Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Wrestling for Life Network proudly brings to you its YouTube tag stream champions of the world, the Every Night Delight, KJ White. I'm Big Nick, and yes, my guy, it's night 2 of the Great American Bash. We got 2 title defenses as well. We got the NXT title on the line with Ethan Page defending against Mensah, which I even saw he was having security hand out autograph pictures before the show started to the people waiting and everything. Right. And then we've also got Rascals taking on Axiom and Frazier, Fraxium. And I believe what they've said is going to be the main event for the tag titles.
I was not aware that was going to be the main event tonight. Also, a lot of news coming out, but yeah, the card itself tonight is stacked. Like you said, a couple titles on the line, plus a couple other matches with some intrigue tagged to it. Plus, more rumors about this NXT and A relationship, how it's going to dial in. Is there more coming? Is there someone else that might pop up? Hendry taking on Joe Coffey. Obviously, one of the big stories of tonight. So we will see what happens for the two Joes. We're having a Joe off tonight. So we will see how that one goes down, Nick.
I think that's the longest we went with him being on the show and not mentioning his name. So kudos to us. We waited a whole 3 minutes before we said his name, but he didn't appear yet.
We have some other things to do.
Right. Well, speaking of other things to do, that, like you were alluding to, the rumor mill going around is that Josh Alexander might show up on NXT. Perhaps.
Yeah, Josh Alexander starting to get heavily rumored. I know there's been, the buzz and the back and forth publicly from a few people. Lots of interesting or a lot of intrigue around the Hardy Boys and what they might do, if anything. Moose is still up in the air, apparently. So we will see, man. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. The relationship seems to be going very well. Clearly, with what they're doing with Joe Hendry, you would never guess that he was a guy that was kind of on loan or being borrowed from another company. He feels like he's one of the, the hometown guys.
Yeah, he feels like he signed an NXT, contract and everything. Well, and then there's the whole other news with NXT, with them going to CW. They're very much showing up and showing out because that's what the show is about. They're actually going on the road. They're going to Chicago, which they're going to feature CM Punk on that show. They're going to St. Louis. They're going to feature Randy Orton, who I don't think has ever stepped foot a day in his life in NXT, is going to be at the show in St. Louis. He was OVW.
Yeah, I can't recall the time that he was in NXT, but again, taking advantage of the hometown. Punk's going to help sell tickets in Chicago. He's going to help sell tickets in NXT. NXT back on the road, which, I mean, when you only got so many dollars to spread around, I mean, it gets real tempting if NXT is knocking on your door and you were saving that money for another show. So we will see how it impacts, how well the ticket sales go, and what the response is. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be big shows with big energy. And I think there's enough talent on NXT to carry that type of show right now. So I'm looking forward to it.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not fully familiar or fully remember if this is just kind of a couple one-offs or if they're just planning to literally go out and outright, if they're just leaving Full Sail and going on tour.
As far as I know, Nick, they're not planning to permanently go on the road, but I do think they're going to sprinkle this in a lot and move it around. So not a full travel schedule like some of the other companies, but very much home base, being home base, and then venturing out every once in a while, as far as I understand it right now.
Fair enough. Well, and especially too with it being the first couple shows on CW, you want to stack those out. You want to have, you know, show up to with these big venues and a huge raucous crowd versus, you know, a little bit of Full Sail.
Yeah, they're making a really big deal, and I'm actually, I wouldn't say fully surprised. I'm a little surprised that, you know, already it's August. We just hit August, and we saw it heavy last night. They're really amping up NXT USA. NXT USA. They want everyone to be very aware of it. Then the announcement comes out today. And like you said, you get Punk in Chicago, you get Randy in St. Louis, plus whatever else you have going on your card. They are looking for those first couple shows at minimum to be cooking out of the gate.
Oh, yeah. You're putting your new footprint on a new network and everything with them going to CW. Christ, there's a lot of changes that are going to be happening in WWE sooner rather than later because September we get the announcers shift. October, NXT goes to CW. I think not shortly thereafter is when SmackDown goes to USA. Can't remember off the top. I think it's end of the year when Raw goes to Netflix. I could be wrong though.
Yeah, Raw kicks in the first week of January, so I know there's a bit of a carryover before we get there. But yeah, the next few months for wrestling fans is going to be insane. Big pay-per-views, more announcements keep coming out. We just found out about Vancouver getting War Games. And it seems like right now, if you're a wrestling fan, there's plenty to take in, there's plenty to enjoy, and there's plenty to be happy about. Don't tell the IWC because they might actually wake up in a good mood once in a while. But there's a lot of good reasons and happy reasons to be a wrestling fan right now.
Yes, put the tweets aside, you know, and let's all just embrace and you know, hold hands as wrestling fans, you know, fans across America.
No, 100%. I mean, certain things in wrestling right now are being done so well that it takes like the bottom of the barrel to scrape up a reason to dislike it. It's just stupid. Shut up. Enjoy the wrestling. Enjoy the shows. But, Nick, we got about 7 minutes to the start of NXT tonight. Folks, I see this chat blowing up already. We're going to say hello to the people in a second, but make sure you be a friend, tell a friend, share this link with anybody you know, anywhere you talk wrestling. Drop this link in. Let's see how many people we can get on here with us. And, yeah, we're looking forward to a fun one. But without further ado, I want to click on Boston for became a YouTube member. Very good.
Yeah, there we go. I feel like we've done this song before here, but I appreciate it, my guy. I appreciate you, Boston.
Right. He re-upped.
Right.
But Rocco, welcome back. We'll get to some of the comments after. Damien, welcome back. 1.73. Nick, real quick. We don't have a whole lot of time.
You saw the Meltzer moment?
I did not see the Meltzer moment, but I did see the collision ratings, and I did see. So we're going to have to talk about that at some point. And the Rampage ratings have oh my God, worst ever. 200,000 people. We're going to catch them at this pace.
Oh, let's make it a thing.
Right. But looking forward to Joe Hendry and Joe Coffey. Absolutely. Damien, welcome back. AD and AZ, what is up? How you doing? Hope everyone out there is doing well. Joe Shipley, good to see you. Kevin, good to see you. Eric, good to see you. Denisha's back in the house. The other Eric.
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to have to go with Tater and Eric, or Tater and Isaac.
Did they call you Tater Salad, Eric?
That was thrown from a bar. Scott, how you doing? Damien, what is up? October 1st, NXT Chicago CM Punk will be there. Yep. That's exactly what we're talking about. And folks, you can let us know in the chat what you think about those decisions. We do have a Title Tuesday coming up later in this year as well. So I think in and around that time. So it's going to be very interesting, as AEW will have a head-to-head Tuesday night. So let's go. It's going to be a fun one here on the channel. We got a Wednesday night off.
Oh, wow.
But I hope Jordan Grace is going to be there. again, remember, Jordan Grace did her thing. She did her stint. So unless they're planning to bring her back in to win something, she's probably going to stick it out. She's in a rivalry right now on TNA with Ash and others. I think you have other in-house talent and some still on the way. Stephanie, Julia. I don't know if Jordan's going to circle back around and lose again, right? Like, we got to think of how you play it.
That's instantly where my brain went. If you've got Stephanie coming in, you've got Julia that's lined up that we've been pretty much waiting for since Heatwave-ish. So I think 100% you've got starting to get a log jam of Jordan Grace would just fall back to the back of the line, especially if she's already been there before.
Right. Yeah, it's a little tricky. And again, I don't think like we're going to get a run of Joe, and then Joe's probably going to fade away at some point until otherwise noted. They're not just going to keep the talent. Like, they got to let him go back. It's like a catch and release program, guys.
Yeah, well, they're still, I think, hoping it's more of a catch and sign, but we'll talk about that.
Well, the signings will happen, I do believe. What's up, Odds? How you doing, Ronnie? Bonkers. Stoner, may the blunt be with you. Man, I stumbled on one of those. Thank you, Lord. I got a new one in the bag of tricks. MDB, always a pleasure, sir. Axiom in the main event. Acknowledge him. That's kind of cute.
I mean, Axiom, A-Kid's done well. He's done well. He's our favorite Spaniard on NXT.
Favorite Spaniard. I think it's the main event because the Rascals are going to win. But
oh yeah, 100%. You're gonna have your title change in the main event.
Yeah, why not? What's up, Chris? How you doing? Richard's back with us. Evan, Tube HD. Welcome. Do you see anybody I missed? Number one Heels back with us. Good to see you, sir.
Right.
Anthony, always a pleasure, sir. Anthony will be with us on Thursday night, jumping into the dirt sheet debate. And I know he's got a whole lot of stuff on his chest over the last few days to talk about.
Yeah, we still got to get his take on SummerSlam, my guy.
Well, that's it. I mean, Queen Nia, I know he's going to want to talk about that. I know, Roman's a thing. And then going through last night, there was lots to talk about with Liv and everything else. So looking forward to seeing what Anthony has to say on some of these matters.
Facts.
Paul, welcome back. Spaz with the super chat. Kayfabe, J-Fabe, and extra large Nikki. It's so funny to read that and realize what that is saying.
Yeah.
Someone at work today mentioned I've been saying my guy a lot lately. I blame you. Cheers. We are influencers. We are, we will get into your head.
Right. Then ends it with my guys. Yeah, absolutely.
My guys.
I'm not your buddy, guy. I'm not your guy, friend. I'm not your friend, buddy.
Too funny. But no, thank you so much for the super chat, the $10 super chat.
Shit, I just did it. Appreciate you, my guy.
God. Axiom could fill the void Ricochet left. Not really.
You'd have to leave it.
Not really. But I mean, they're talking that it's picking up, and I can't believe it's gaining steam, and it will fall under, I'll believe it when I see it category. But the rumor of the Lucha Bros coming over to WWE, and I think that's fucking awesome because I know how good they are now. Just imagine them produced and marketed. That, how many Zero Metal fucking hands we'd be selling? Big foam.
Oh, yeah. But what name would he use and everything like that? Would it be Penta? Would it be El Zero Mero, Penta, El Zero, what have you? Like, the only thing that made me kind of really question it is when I saw Fenix was copywriting new names. That's why I was like, you're not doing that unless you're planning on leaving.
Well, then again, I mean, a lot of people have debated it. I've seen mixed emotions from the EW fan base, and I'm probably too late to get into this. But as the show is momentarily going to start, folks, and then we'll circle back to this one. But it'll be interesting because it could impact NXT because that could be their first stop upon entering the company. But yeah, I mean, again, I think the wrestlers are getting wise, and a lot of people want to do what Cody did: go to the WWE. Owning as much of you as you can.
Right. And Ken, I think we answered your question before we can click on your comment there. So shout out Ken. Dale, what up? Sorry I got no power in Rock Creek, Ohio. Tree are down and flooding roads and power lines down too. Well, Christ almighty, stay safe, Dale. That you took time out of dealing with that to let us know. I appreciate you.
Yeah, stay safe, Dale, and we'll keep you updated on everything that's going on. Nick, you might have to keep me up to date on what's going on as we should be starting any minute now, but I think I'm being preempted. Oh, no, I'm not. We're coming.
I am 10.
Okay, you're ahead of me, but I'll let you know.
Okay. Clay, what up now?
Yeah, my stuff was a little wonky. As tennis of all things, are getting in the way of my wrestling at the moment.
Forever.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
No, I'm actually way behind.
All right. So I have together right now, folks. If you're syncing up with me and KJ, I guess we'll play catch up later on.
No, pause. Just wait.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know what.
That's what the leader had. I know I'm usually ahead of you, but you just wait. And eventually,
I have Hank and Tanks on my screen, so let me know when you get there.
All right.
Right. Jeff, Spaz with another $10 super chat. Hella cheap plug. SummerSlam review and a few odd news and notes about Punk, Britt, MJF, and the Hardys, and more available now.
Yeah, I got Hank and Tank.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Great American Bash vlog. There we go. We're synced up.
There you go. Hank and Tank's been good for this.
I still want our, part of the royalties there, Hunter. I think we named this team.
I feel like we did, man. I feel like we did. Not enough credit where it is a Jew. Oh, right. Good to see you, Christopher. How you doing?
I do like them, though. I like them as a tag team, and especially them kind of hosting this and being, the lovable putzes that they're sneaking into the building and everything like that.
Right. Good to see you,
fit, my guy. The suits game was
over the top.
Spectacular. Ronan, what up? Night 2 of NXT Great American Bash begins. Absolutely. As we're getting a run through pretty much of last week here.
Yeah, definitely going to recap of NXT Night 1. Folks, we will take a prediction on every single match. We will take a rating out of 10 at the end of the night. And again, if you can't see the show, we will keep you posted. If you can see the show, just hit mute. We'll be the alternative commentary to all your favorite wrestling.
Shucky ducky, quack, quack.
Hank and Tank have a vlog now. Yes, they're hosting duty vlogs.
I dig it, though, although MDB, I think, said that they need, name tags to decipher which one's which. Hank is the one that looks like Seth Rogen.
Yep.
And Tank's the one that looks like literally a tank, I guess. There's no other way to put it. Like the guy that would be named Tank.
Yeah. Hank and Tank's vlog is what's on my screen right now. And we got a crowd shot, ladies and gentlemen. Spaz, thank you again. Cheap pop for himself. A few odd news and notes about Punk, Britt, MJF, and the Hardys are more available now. Where you video and pod, Spotify, YouTube, and Rumble. So thank you again, Spaz. Go check out Spaz and his reviews and his content, as he's been an awesome supporter of the channel. So go give him
we're getting
love.
Pete Dunne right now. So are we kicking off with Pete Dunne versus Tricky Wicky?
Let's go. So, folks, who you taking? Pete Dunne or Trick Williams to open the night?
I really like how much they've gotten really behind Pete Dunne lately. Across not only just on NXT and even on Monday Night Raw.
Well, that's why I get a little frustrated with the portion of the fan base who are like, same old WWE, nothing changes. They always do the same stuff. And we're watching like the OC get TV time and Mia Yim get TV time and Pete Dunne get TV time. And people that generally weren't, like, I don't even know how much love Gunther gets with Vince McMahon because you don't know Vince McMahon. Vince would have, Gunther doing a 3-second job to Lesnar if he felt like it. So, again,
he was almost going to do that probably at Mania.
Yeah, probably. So, seeing the change and seeing the dynamic and seeing how they're doing business, I love it because we're seeing some really good wrestling.
Christ, you and I both popped like little school kids. Pause on that. That was a terrible way to put that. But we both lost our minds when, Bronson Reed was out there destroying Seth Rollins. The man hit 6 or 7 tsunamis.
Yeah.
We're out here literally 1, 2, 3.
Stop
right,
him.
But that's the thing. That's how you make a star. That's how you get somebody over and stuff like that. Like they're pushing him now. They're no longer is it Butch. It's actually Pete Dunne out here, and he's taken on Trick Williams, recent former NXT World Champion here.
Yeah. I just think some of the fans, I mean, I remember growing up through wrestling, and there was always these moments where all of a sudden somebody did something that you like. The New Age Outlaws, when they decided to be a part of DX, they were floundering. You didn't even notice them, right? Road Dogg was coming off his Jeff Jarrett shit. And then all of a sudden one night they beat the shit out of Mick Foley and Terry Funk and push them off a stage. Mainstays at the top of that division. Like we've seen moments like this throughout time, and we're off and running. We're wasting no time.
Big drop kick from Trick. Who do you got in this match, sir?
I'm gonna go Trick. I think Trick needs a win.
I'm gonna go little Petey Pump.
Little Petey Pump, eh?
Yeah, Pete Dunne. Well, I think
Dunner.
Trick maybe needs to get knocked around a little bit, have to kind of come back. And 100%, he's still tied in with the thing with Sheamus and everything. So I think he needs a win away from Sheamus, and it'll get that momentum even cooking a little more. Yeah.
That's a valid point. But I think we might see Sheamus.
That would be interesting. I hadn't really thought about that too much.
People been messing with him, running around with that shillelagh. So nice suplex.
Suspended suplex. Boom.
See, I think they're being smart with Trick. They're putting him in the ring with good wrestlers. I think they're trying to find people to slow him down. I think Trick's big problem is he goes a mile a minute, and his brain's moving faster than, or his brain's moving faster than his feet. And he gets a little stumbly bumbly.
Right, but that's why I think maybe even his matches with Carmelo, because they'll both go at the same pace, and then it gets extra chaotic here. But a guy like Pete Dunne, like when he had his match with Ilya, those are two guys who are, no, we're going to slow this down, or I'm going to make you slow it down. Yeah.
And another example, kind of going back to the previous story, I mean, sitting right next to ringside, Booker T, right? Mid-card guy, tag title guy forever. Then one day he kicked somebody important in the head, and then you're like, oh shit, this guy, like, that's how you move him up the card. You take somebody out.
Right.
It's old school storytelling. A lot of fans were like, I can't believe a guy that hasn't done anything did something.
What did you want him to do? It's like Odyssey Jones. Did you see he had 8 million views to his goddamn return? More over than Okada and Ospreay put together.
Yeah, I know a lot of people put that stat out there. It's hilarious.
But
people just tuning in and be like, who, like, he's alive, and people are just checking on him.
Right. That's a name I haven't heard in 2 years. Small Mark taking Pete Dunne for the win, as Pete's right now just elbow and tricking pulling him up into the rampage type powerbomb. Oh, he just tossed that boy.
Pete Dunne gets chucked across the ring to break the hold.
Right. Rachel, what up? Bonkers. Propunzo saying anyone still got Resident Evil instead of NXT? No, sir. I had it before NXT, but you might want to hit refresh.
No, pal. I had to go to secondary means because it was preempted in my neck of the woods. So, yeah. Others may be experiencing the same.
Fair enough. Well, I've just got both men just chopping the hell out of each other right now. But see, now you only get like one chop spot per match, per show, not 27. Oh! Jumped into the moonsault and caught him with like a neck breaker. Two go.
As we are going into picture in picture, folks, I'm just going to hit. He is killing Trick Williams. Again, a battle, but a nice methodical pace. Good start. What a neck breaker.
Oh, absolutely. And clever as hell. Like, you don't see something like that really ever. I can't recall the last time I saw something like that.
Not like that. TJ Boo and Pete Dunne. Trick for the win. But Pete Dunne is a good opponent for him to test him whether he is ready for the main roster. Yeah, I think the internal, I'm guessing, and Nick, you can tell me if I'm crazy. I feel like internally they're aware of, like, he got a lot of hype and he's got a lot of charisma and a lot of upside, but maybe the cart got out ahead of the horse on this one, and we got to slow it down just a bit.
Oh, yeah. I think that goes even to a bit of why we knew Ethan Page was going to be walking out with the world title at Heatwave.
Yeah.
That's what he challenged him. Because Trick kind of needs to dial down a little, like not exactly dial down of like not get over as much or anything like that, but more have to fight back up, move his way back up the card again. Because the match wise between him and Carmelo did not really go that great, and it kind of lost a lot of steam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little lackluster, a little, and I think it's a challenge when you have a hype around a match at that level. And we were all kind of anticipating. You had people talking about this is going to be the best match in NXT history. Well, they should have watched some of the previous best matches in NXT history because they delivered. And unfortunately, I think Mello and Trick fell short twice.
Right. But Blaze Trip, Dunne gonna whoop that Trick. Let's go. Wrestling for Life. What up? Are y'all fans of the North American Women's Championship? Asked Jordan Kirby. I don't mind it. I dig it. Well, actually, we're getting a third title match. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah,
we're getting
Kelani
versus Tatum.
Yeah, 100%. So, I like the mid card. I think we're good. And if this is, you put it forward that a little bit of a tester, how you can work the middle of the division with the title. There's tons of talented women in this company. A mid card title works for me.
Yeah, and especially on NXT, to where they really prominently focus their women's division. Not saying that the main roster doesn't, but NXT does a lot of it. And like I've said, and you even agreed with me there, it's a guinea pig for if they were to do it on the main roster. If they were to do it on a Raw or SmackDown or goes in between both shows, it would be something like that.
Yeah, I don't even mind that idea. Motor City Machine Guns debut at the end of the show is my prediction. Someone else might have said that in the chat too, Damien. It's very possible. Main event, MCMG showing up would be a lot of intrigue.
That would be a holy moment. And check on your AEW diehard friend. Just that's what I would recommend. If that's what happens, check on your AEW diehards, the AEW Smarks.
Right. They
might have a meltdown.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And again, the diehard apologists are finding it harder and harder, and the reasons they're giving are getting worse. Is that challenging to be like, well, that sucks because I don't know, bro. It feels pretty cool.
Right. But we're back in action as I've got right now Pete Dunne stretching out Trick Williams on the mat here.
Preparing Trick the same way they did Braun. You remember Braun was a little stale and kind of at one point. Now we all remember the Braun that's murdering people, but he went through that squeaky baby face, I can't really cut a promo phase until he figured it out. And then I think
he only got it.
Yeah. I just think Trick's, because of the entrance and everything else, kind of skyrocketed, and he was like, oh shit.
Ooh. Diving elbow there from Pete Dunne. Almost like a halfway hidden blade there.
Is Rich Holland still around? Yeah, he's in Chase U.
Yeah.
Could he get involved in Dunne and Sheamus? I kind of hope not. Rich does nothing for me.
He retired and came back within a week. Let's not forget all of that. So 100%. This guy's just been all over the goddamn place.
All right, pitcher and pitcher. What's wrong with pitcher and pitcher? Oh, couple leg lariats. Oh,
chip up. JV, what up? Geekbox, what up? Feels like when Trick's in the ring, he puts on a good match, but I don't feel any storytelling attached. Page through absolutely does.
Yeah, yes and no to a degree. I think I'm more inclined. It's just I think the matches end up being a little stumbly bumbly.
Rock bottom
bookend. Rock bottom bookend.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Trick's super athletic, but I guess it's even a bit of like what Geekbox was saying of the psychology doesn't match up. Like there's no, you hit some really cool shit, but why did you hit the really cool shit? That's what matters too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think part of the story gets lost in where he gets a little rundown or confused or missteps, and it really does throw off kind of where you're heading with it at times.
Right. Oh, double stop on the hands.
Oh, Pete Dunne, huge kick. Pete Dunne reminding everybody I can bang.
Pause.
He bangs. He bangs.
Right. Steven, what up? Really wouldn't mind Josh Alexander showing up. That'd be interesting in the North.
Well, now that Josh is a heel, it works.
Right.
A couple months ago or a couple weeks ago, it didn't work.
Ooh. Well, I think he goes, if he shows up, he goes at Joe Hendry.
It'd be very interesting.
Two count after like an avalanche like faceplant onto Dunne.
Yeah, like a flatliner.
Right. Spaz again with a $10 super chat. Instead of a mystery opponent at the next PLE, they should say a whole mystery match. Then No Mercy starts with debuting MCMG versus debuting Lucha Bros.
Could you imagine? I don't hate that idea at all. Like, I have you ever? Do we recall ever like a tonight we will have a match and you have no idea who's in?
No,
that
I don't. Jesus, and Dunne kicks out of it. Was basically like a disaster kick, or he just fucking booted him in the head.
Yeah,
that was hella impressive.
And we're getting NXT chance to kick off this show tonight, folks. The crowd's into it. I hope everyone out there's into it, and we're tickling triple digits. So get in there and help us get over the hump. You can pause on all of it if you want.
Come on, do the Humpty Hump.
Wrong direction, fuckers. Other way. Scared 5 people away.
Right now, Pete Dunne just stomping out Trick, though.
Pete's so good. Such a good heel. I don't know why you messed around with him and gave him a man bun.
That's why he hates Sheamus, because you made him Butch.
Yeah, I'd beat your ass too. You've been calling me Butch for 2 years, you bugger.
Right. My name's Pete Dunne, motherfucker. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Dunne. Oh,
Petey didn't even have a head.
Right?
Oh, Trick firing back. Great match.
Oh. This whole match has been them just literally trading shot for shot and spot for spot here, and it's been fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of back and forth to this match, which is good. Not Pete Dunne didn't just keep him down, fire up, go back. It's been the fingers. Leave the fingers alone.
Yeah.
Speaking of triple digits, Trick Williams getting his snap.
Right.
Pissed him off.
Oh. Tosses and misses at the end of the corner.
I can relate, Trick.
Bitter end. 1, 2, 3. That does it.
Peter Dunne with the W, folks. Clean, lickety split in the middle. Nick, what does this mean?
Like I said, I think we're going to get, definitely probably some more Pete Dunne on NXT. Maybe he goes after Ethan Page for the title, what have you. And it also is going to play nicely to getting some more momentum and some actual matches for Pete Dunne instead of he just pops out with his little shillelagh and tries to whack on Sheamus.
Whack carefully.
Yeah, whack responsibly, folks.
Tonight we have a match and we don't know why. Isn't that Dynamite? Well played.
Touche. As now we've got the cookout.
Hank and Hank are a lot. They're big mood in a big way.
They're big beefy boys. As we've got freaking Lexus King is DJing to get at Eddie Thorpe.
This is a great match. He has a top babyface potential. Absolutely.
My guy Hank and Tank are wearing matching overalls and no shirts underneath. Big
Right.
Jason Kelsey energy.
Lexus King, yeah, 100%. Lexus King actually might get over as a accidentally as a babyface in this feud because he's repping like Nirvana and Rock up against EDM. You might win some people
He's
over.
he's Jeff Jarrett in this, or Kurt Hennig with
Yeah.
rap is crap.
This EDM music. Been a great match. Peter wins. Oh. We're gonna have a wing off.
What?
I think we're gonna have a wing off.
My guy, I swear they've been listening. We were talking about wings. What was it a couple nights ago?
Right? 0-1, 1-0, 1-0. Pete beat Trick. Pete Dunne beat Trick, and we got Stone. Man, I forget. It's Danny Stevie Turner. I forget her name every week. Every week, I'm like,
as Ava just shows up, but it's so weird. It's like, why does Ava Rain, who looks like an intern, have interns?
She looks like that scene. Everyone's having a party. It looks like the kid that wakes up and walks into the adult party. Like, what's going on in here? Like, get out of here. But up next, we're getting Kelani Jordan taking on Tatum Paxley for the title. You were going to say something, Nick.
I was going to say exactly what you said, sir. So thank you. As we're hyping up Friday to where we're going to have Roman Reigns back at it again after his return at SummerSlam. How did you feel, though, that they used the WrestleMania 40 music? Because I know some people were all like, can you believe that some people didn't recognize the music? They've used it one other time, and it's, to me, still pretty different from his regular theme.
It's funny because in the moment, I don't feel like we were like, whose music is that? We all kind of knew. And the way the camera was set up, we instantly knew. So people might be like, oh, well, the music was different. I could have fucked it up. But they made it pretty obvious. Like, if we go back and watch us react, it wasn't like, wait, no, we knew who it was. So my take was just leave his music alone. Leave everyone's fucking music somewhat alone. But I don't think it was a big deal the way some people made it out. Like, apparently people can't, just figure it out. We're expecting Roman to return any second now. Oh, music. I wonder who it is.
Right. But it'll be nice to see him. Go ahead.
Sorry, but it wasn't that different from what he normally walks out. Like, it's not, it still sounds like Roman.
Right. I'm just excited to see what's going to happen with him on SmackDown. Like we talked about this last night. We knew it was going to be Roman pretty much gets the drop on him. Now what's going to happen when it's on weekly television, when that's probably not going to be the case. When's Roman going to realize he might be outnumbered?
Well, yeah, I think that's the next chapter. Like the hero came back and he's going to fix everything and then realizes, I can't fix it alone. I mean, it's very curious what the status of Jacob Fatu will be. We're hoping that he just shows up and runs around with a walking boot on and he's good to go because he's a monster. But I hope he's okay. But yeah, I think that's where this story pivots. And again, when do we get Paul? Will we get Paul on Friday? Is that how you open SmackDown on Fridays with Paul? I kind of wanted the return to be tied to Paul, but if they didn't do it, fine. Yeah, lots to figure out with where this goes on Friday and beyond.
Yeah. Instead, they based the turn on Prilosec, Prilosec OTC.
Right. I thought it was new music, but I didn't know. I did know it was Roman coming out. Yeah, right. Like, I don't think anybody was sitting at home being like, "Who is this?"
It wasn't exactly new music. It was just, to me, it was unique that they went with his WrestleMania 40 entrance that we've only heard one time.
Well, maybe it's the case of like, this is his move. Like, this is your music moving forward.
This is his babyface theme, not his heel theme.
Fair enough. And I did say originally, like, just leave his music as, come out to your music so you get that pop. When you have that moment of like, huh, who? But in this case, I think I really would be shocked if anyone out there was delayed popping for Roman's return. The only people that were probably confused about whose music it was were the people sitting there already in a huff. Like, this sucks. I can't believe I watched 3 hours of this. But yeah. But yeah, no small issue, folks. We are on commercial right now as we speak. The night is rolling through. I lied. We are back with Ethan Page, Nick.
Oh yeah, we just got back there literally as you were mid-sentence. So, and we've got Nathan Frazier backstage there with them as they're in the medical center or the medical training staff, whatever area. Chris, what up? Stephen Hikaleo replacing Jacob, guessing until Jacob comes back. But we don't know if he's actually hurt or if it was you're supposed to sell part of it to be not involved with Roman at this point in time. It was new music to me, said Anthony. I can't remember what happened yesterday, let alone WrestleMania. Well, now you know, sir. As I've got Tatum Paxley coming out right now. Ethan Page is awesome, says Christopher. Kelani versus Tatum next. Absolutely. So, folks, let us know in the chat who you're taking for this match for the Women's North American Championship, whether you're taking Tatum Paxley or Kelani Jordan.
Is there any chance that Tatum steals this tonight? Tatum's been good.
It'd be interesting. I mean, she might have the help from Spooky Dookie Chew.
That's right. Her and Chew have been getting friendly.
Yeah, she chews her.
Yeah.
They bonded over a Barbie doll.
But here comes Kelani.
Now, I get she's like a former gymnast and everything like that, but when did the whole like the powder on the hands like clap thing become part of her gimmick? That seems fairly new to me. Is that just because of the Olympics or like what?
I think they just maybe like you're a champ now. We got to add a little pizzazz. I don't know. It is fair. I don't recall her always doing that, but it might have started actually with Dana Brooke, to be honest. I feel like there was a lot of dust in their situation, but that could have just been Dana.
That was just Dana. She's just dusty and musty. Sorry.
Oh. Anthony, plug your ears.
MDB Ainsley, she's always done that. I have never seen her do that before, sir. If I'm wrong, I'll be wrong, but I've never seen her do that before.
Right. As ladies and gentlemen, get in that chat. Are you taking Tatum Paxley or are you taking Kelani Jordan? The only hesitation I got here is it hasn't been long for Kelani, but screw it. Let's go.
So are you taking Tatum?
Titles are changing. What?
I said, so are you taking Tatum?
No, I'm going to take Kelani.
Fine, I'll take Tatum then. Just be
difficult. You take Tatum. You can backslide into one.
Yeah, well, or backslide out of one. Pause.
Kelani, Tate, LeBron, K.
Jordan. K. Jordan for the win.
Right. KJ wins. KJ always wins. Let's go.
See, you had to take her. It's got your, the initials.
Right. KJ retains. Let's go Tatum. Kelani by DQ. Interesting, Chambers.
Oh, as she hits the little gymnast spin out there out of the wrist lock.
This one's for you.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You can have that. That ain't even what I'm mad at. Yeah, see, Spooky Dookie Chew walking right behind, the Mean Girls. That's always a fucking faction in NXT with the women, whether it was pretty or Toxic Attraction. I don't know why I almost call them Pretty Deadly, but there's always just a Mean Girls faction.
Well, there was Team Bad before that. There's been a succession of women's trios or 3-person groups, factions, if you will.
Well, I'm saying it feels specific to like NXT of just we shouldn't exactly get along, but we're here because we're mean. Arm drag from Kelani.
Kelani doing the LeBron chalk. See, I honestly don't remember her always doing that. I'm with you, my guy.
Right. Yeah, no, I get that she was doing the LeBron show. And then Biggie used to do it. Yeah, Biggie used to do it. Maybe Mark Henry's kid can do it when he debuts.
Right. Lexus King is dressed up as Joey Janela. I would have believed that if anybody knew who Joey Janela was, Damien.
Oh.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
Right. This has been, respectfully, this has been just like dodge a move, arm drag, dodge a move, arm drag. Oh.
Showing off that acrobatic background.
Yeah. But I was about to say this match has been, instead of the chop match, it's been the arm drag match.
Nice. Tope coming down over to the top.
Right.
Kelani taking out Tatum.
Up over the top with a corkscrew splash there over the top rope.
As Tatum crawls under the ring. These are athletic women. I'm going for Tate. Fallon challenges Kelani next. Fallon for the main title. At some point.
Yeah, please. Oh, there's the doll. As Tatum goes around the other side. Is Tatum just going to be like spooky Alexa and just like make dolls of the people she's facing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Tatum playing dirty.
What did she hit her like knee or shin into? I like looked away right as I just saw her on the ground grabbing at it, and then we went to commercial.
Tatum taking out the knee, taking out the leg. Let's go.
Gotcha. Oh, I thought she might have hit it off like the thing that they've got the title belt on.
No, not to my knowledge.
Okay, that's why I asked.
Brock Anderson was at SummerSlam. Curious if he joins NXT. I mean, sure. What do you think? I mean, this one's tough because we've seen him.
Well, we've seen him, but I don't know how much other people have seen him. That's the thing is he wasn't on.
Do something with them
in NXT, yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he'll look like he's older than everyone else on that roster.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like, does he would he be the third member of Hank Tank and Shank? Like, I don't know what you would. What would you do with Brock Anderson?
Maybe Heritage Cup for a bit or whatever.
Oh, maybe.
More kind of a technical guy. Depends on how you want to do it. Maybe you get Ethan Page needs to get his own little like 4 horsemen around him and everything. And you bring in, Lexus King, Pillman, you bring in Brock Anderson and Anderson. So nice little nods and tie-ins there a little bit. If you wanted to go that route, you could do it. It's all on maybe where does he go past that? But you got to let him get in the door to see. I kick the tires on the kid.
I mean, just based on what we've seen, and we haven't seen much, but I mean, again, he just looked like a normal dude that was trying to wrestle. Like, no real physique. He's not overly a big guy.
That was his dad, though. Like, his dad was a normal guy trying to wrestle.
Yeah, but his dad was like a beast of a dude. Like, I don't know.
Right, because he was just a tough SOB, and you didn't give a chance. There was no chance for that kid to sit there and develop any sort of a character or personality when he's got, 2 dark matches. And he's hanging out, with like Griff Garrison and shit.
Fair enough. You're not wrong. None of Kelani matches are actually matches. I would not go that far. I think Kelani's had some good matches, and I have no problem with how this one started off. So, but yeah, that's a bit far for me.
Well, and then he follows it up with, what exactly is the target audience for Kelani's ballet matches? Well, depending on who you ask in the, Twitterverse of wrestling fans, it'd be an AEW audience.
Yeah, there's a whole collection that shows up on Wednesday for that. I don't understand the issue here. That's what I find funny about this. It's the same people, and I know we've talked with Anthony about it before, of like, oh, TNA is just like a garbage indie show. And you're like, wait a minute. How do you dismiss one and cheer for the other? So then you see this Kelani stuff, and you're like, oh, that's just silly flips. Like, okay. Is this not what we give 5 stars for, Dave? Help me understand, Dave.
And I'm not even saying that it's exactly bad or whatever, but it's one of those of, if it's not your cup of tea, I mean, there's a whole company that does it and everything. It goes across both ways.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, if it's not you, if it's not for you, it's not for you. But I would be hard pressed to say that, you know, a bunch of like I thought her match with Sol Ruka was great. I thought her match at the pay-per-view was solid. And again, yeah, there was a lot of flips and tricks, but when Ospreay and Ricochet did it, everyone thought it was cool. So when the ladies do
this is provocative. I don't know what it is, but it gets the people going of what what this submission hold that she's got right now on Kelani of stretching out the knee in a suggestive manner.
I feel like there was an easier way to put her in a submission hold.
No, that was 100% an easier way. It's like the Mortos pin to where he just put the guy's legs on him. It's like, well, I'm pinning him. He's touching me and he's down, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Julia beating Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's Championship. One day, maybe. One day. She might have to actually, Julia might have to beat Stephanie. We never know. You never know, folks. Don't count those chickens till they're clucking.
Fair enough. Oh, I hate that in every women's match because it's a cheap spot in a women's match. Like the double clothesline at times in a match of just the double hair pull, like spin out. And like the double crash spot.
Fair enough, but here comes Spooky Chew.
Yeah. This could be what causes, Tatum to win. She's just going to take a nap. Oh, she's got the doll.
Oh, running forearm. Hobbling on one leg. It goes both ways. Oh. Spaz catching.
Right.
What's up, Kira? How you doing? Everyone in NXT is working working out different gimmicks. I don't mind gymnast Jordan. It's different and has not been done before. It's time for the Olympics. Yeah, fair enough. She's just a squeaky clean babyface, but she's athletic and talented as hell. So
right.
Again, I don't know much of her. I'm not her biggest fan. She's a little bit generic wrestler, but flatliner.
After though, she her knee straight up buckled. It probably was some goddamn good selling, but it looked like Tatum quickly reacted to cover that up. Misses the move, felt nobody home.
You're telling me this is bad? Come on, now this whole sequence plus her selling on top of the sequence, we got to give this lady some flowers. Paxley 450. No way.
1, 2, 2 go. I was about to say happy day. No, to me I will go at least a little bit, and to me, this match hasn't been my exact cup of tea. This has been a lot of arm drag, followed by arm drag, followed by.
I don't think that's accurate. I think the match started with 2 arm drags, but anyone out there want to confirm with me? We had a few arm drags at the beginning, but since they're rolling, Nick.
This last little bit started to pick up, but this has been a lot of let's just crisscross and we crisscross and we crisscross.
I don't agree with that. Based on what I'm watching, that's fine.
What I'm saying is we're disagreeing.
Yeah, I don't think it's been the way it's being described. They're battling. This is no different than any other match. Yeah, there was moments to start, but I think since then they're rolling back and forth, hitting big moves, Spanish fly like that.
No, like I said, it's picking up now, but there has been a chunk of this match that, be it me, was not for me. I will say that.
Yeah, but my only big frog splash. I think the first 2 minutes maybe.
Ooh.
Big win for Kelani on one leg. Let's go. Kelani Jordan. Good match.
I like the finish. I
think it was a hell of a match. I give that match full marks. I thought it was great from start to finish. I liked the back and forth. I like Paxley playing possum. And again, a big win for the champ. I thought this was a really strong match by both these ladies. I'd like to see other companies put on women's matches of this quality, of this pace, of this just clean. It was clean, not a whole lot. Yeah,
that's fine. I'm glad you liked it. I personally didn't, and that's fine.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out what you didn't like about it. But again, like I said, I mean, I think what you're describing was literally the first 90 seconds to 2 minutes of the match. Oh, but Chew. So is Chew next? Oh, Chew,
what the hell? Just taking her out. What the shit is this? So what the fuck is this? Just takes out Tatum Paxley to try and get to Kelani. Why? What? What the fuck was that?
Wendy
I
Chu
feel like
says,
crushing the crown. What the hell is that?
I can't be friends with a loser. You're out.
So we've got Ren Sinclair, Charlie Dempsey, Charlie Murphy, Charlie Dempsey, and I can't remember this Action Jackson Praction guy's name.
Oh, Miles
Bourne. I don't know.
Is that Miles Bourne?
Action Jackson and everything.
It's not though. I always confuse. Is it Miles Bourne? Is Miles Bourne not the kid in Chase U?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Someone correct us. We're terrible with this, and we don't recognize the guy who had 2 matches. As we've got the family interrupted.
Ren is growing on me. She's doing the opposite. She is, like she's growing on me like a fungus.
There's a fungus.
I
don't mind it. I liked her when she was Maddie Rinkowski on the Indies, and she hasn't done enough to be offensive, for anything. Excuse me, on NXT so far.
Yeah.
Well, Christ, when we watched her last week, she was the one pretty much getting, the no quarter catch crew in line, straighten up and fly right, soldier.
Yeah. NXT North American Women's title has potential, but they just don't know how to book the champion right. And
we're just walking through.
Yeah, I don't understand this comment at all. The North American Women's Champion literally just started. She had one booking with Sol Ruca in what arguably was a good match or not, and then this match. Like, I don't get where this they don't know how. Like, I think they're doing just fine. It just literally is still on the runway, my friends.
Yeah, and because it was Heat Wave when it was they had the ladder match for it. So it's literally like barely a month to 2 months old. Give it some time.
And I would argue they're doing the right thing. They're giving her competitive matches to show that she's in there for a battle. I mean, again, not a squash match, not something stupid. Her soul, and then her tonight, and then maybe Wendy Chu next. But yeah, this whole they don't know. I think they're doing just fine, folks.
I think it might be more because Kelani's champion versus it's a Sol Ruca, it's a Fallon Henley, anything like that. It's not a Lola Vice.
Well, I mean, I still think that like the Kelani getting the title, I think it's kind of like your second tier. Like as far as looking at your developmental chart, your younger ones coming up are getting that first title as they should, and then the Lolas and the Fallons are kind of in the mix for the one above it because they've been there for a minute.
Fair. But would you, like with the world title on Raw is a bad example because it's a world title, but we'll put a new title on someone that's at least established before you put it on an upstart, and the upstart's the one that got it. I know the way Kelani was, she was the dark horse in it. She already had her the NXT call your shot thing and everything like that before, so she was kind of owed it. But
but I still think that this title will be for people like Kelani. I think this mid-card title will be a lot of like the next up and coming, like the next Kelani will get the title next. Like very much they're going to use that belt to establish somebody. So I got no problem with them establishing a TV title, just like Bronson Reed last night. If you don't put her in the ring and give her a shot, we don't know what she does.
Oh no, I'm fine with putting her in the ring and everything like that, but I think that there's also enough of a upper mid, and a lower upper card and an upper mid card, I guess, to where you could have a Sol Ruca, a Lola Vice, Nikita Lyons if she ever comes back or anything like that.
Sol Ruca makes sense.
Go after it. A Fallon Henley, a JC Jane.
But then you have all the same women going after the same. Like now you got them all lumped together. Now you're doing what AEW does, where everyone's just hot mashed together.
Valid.
You separate them, right?
That's fine. That's actually 100% valid, because we could argue that the TBS title right now seems almost more important in AEW than their women's world title.
Yeah. And I mean, again, that becomes a bit of a dilemma. And I think if you have like a Fallon or, even even potentially a Lola, but if you have a bigger name kind of take that mid-card title, and then you're like, shit. And you get in the problems you're having now with Swerve, you have the problems you're having with Tony. It is people aren't quite sure what the most important title in the company is, or which one of the 45 titles matter the most. So I think you're going to see lesser lights and people getting an opportunity with that mid-card belt.
Fair enough. Where 80 and AZ saying I want to see Obo versus Bronson. I'd be all for that. Big beefy boys slapping.
That's beef deluxe.
Yeah, absolutely. That's again, it's reinforced the ring. John C saying North American title, Obo versus Omos. Again, reinforced the ring, but Omos might be lost with no MVP, what have you.
Yeah, I have no idea what they're going to do with Omos. I didn't know what they were going to do with Omos with MVP still around, but yeah, Omos might be a thing of the past. Maybe he'll go and team up with Satnam Singh.
I was gonna say a name, but I won't. But yeah, well, you got to keep somebody like that as a special attraction. That's the thing.
Yeah, again, you can't overuse them. You got to make them count. But I think, I feel like Triple H has kind of gone in this direction of he's not necessarily into the same things that Vince was into, and he seems like he wants to build with the people he got. He's okay with the smaller guys, smaller talent. We don't need a 7-foot giant that really can't wrestle. We'd rather give you two guys that can really do it. Yeah, I don't know. I could be wrong, but it just seems like, again, even like a Bobby Lashley, like Bobby, we love you, but maybe there's some other people will give us better matches.
I don't know. I think you could have done something more, Bobby, but that's
I've never been a Bobby fan. That's my own. So that's my bias. Is I've never.
No, that's fine. Wait, that's a discussion for a later date. Maybe we'll do that on Thursday.
Maybe.
But Chair saying so low-level wrestlers belt. Well, it's called a mid-card title for mid-card wrestlers.
Right. So you put it on someone like Kelani, who's up and coming. She was a surprise to win it, and then you put her in a series of good matches, and you let her show up and show out. And again, even if that match,
Trick we're already throwing hands again as Dunne's getting interviewed. So
interesting.
This is not the last we're seeing of Pete Dunne and Trick Williams here. I think he's really fucking potato with the guy. We're getting Metaphor coming out. So we're getting the NXT world title match right now, which Rio asking, so why is the NXT title not the main event? The show already feels less relevant than last week. Almost always the case with 2-week specials.
I disagree completely. This card's stacked in a much better, in a much greater degree than it was last week. And again, this is where wrestling fans are real fickle, and they just find reasons to eat. You're literally throwing up on your own food. I don't get it. You want the tag titles to feel important, so they get a main event spot. Again, on a weekly show, this isn't a big threat to the champion, so let it happen. And again, you can't not do it, and then if they don't do it, then they never let the tag titles be, or they never let the women do it, and then they do it, and they're like, well, what about the other guy? Like, it's just such a shitty take. Like, the show is stacked tonight, and it doesn't feel any less. It actually feels, to me, better as far as on paper.
Right. Well, B Hockey agreeing with you that, Ora Mensah may not be the strongest challenger for Ethan Page.
Yeah.
But I still think it's going to help Ora get over it. And it's still, like you even said right there, we all pretty much know Ethan's going to win. It's probably going to over-deliver as a match, even though we know Ethan's going to win. And I think that's setting up that there's going to be a big moment in the tag match. And especially, we even said it when we were watching last week, and they announced it, and you're going to get, Axiom and Frazier versus the Rascals. That's a match that's going to cook. That's going to be a high-flying match. That's going to be a spot fest. That's going to be all over the place. And you could still see a surprise debut or return. I think we're at least getting a title change in that match. So I think we're getting a biggest moment for the end of the show.
Yeah. Plus, this match is going to get, I think this match is going to be relatively easy or squashed. I do believe we are getting the return of Noam tonight or
Okay.
somebody else. Like Oro's not the main challenger for this belt. Oro's a nice, like, give Ethan something to do and introduce Ethan to the people. Remember, he won that belt on his second match.
Yeah. Well, he challenged for it on his first match.
Yeah.
Lost the
Right?
challenge and then won the rematch.
So if you're someone in the WWE universe ain't paying attention very much outside of WWE, you don't know much about Ethan Page other than some dude showed up. He's a bit of a dick, and he won the belt. So
He's all ego something.
Yeah. I think I saw a quote today from Triple H, Nick, and it really resonated with me. And I almost want to like put it like above our logo on the screen or something. But it was, we are truly at a time where we can say, let things play out. Wrestling fans are so jaded that things are going to go shit or not work out or things are going to go wrong that they just let it work out. Let things, like, people instantly are like, oh, Bronson Reed, let it play out. Like they were so mad at the beginning. Like, do you sit down at the movie and the movie starts and like, do you get mad the first 4 minutes into the movie of like, nothing's blown up yet? Shit movie, I gotta go. Like, no, you see where it goes, man.
Valid. Oh, nice head scissors from Oro. But I think it's also there's a giant McMahon scar on the heart of all wrestling fans of that's why we're all jaded. That we're used to things just going to shit. There was stories of the man tearing apart scripts. I hate that I even just used the word scripts. I'm not talking about Reggie, but format for the show, literally hours before they're about to go live. So wrestling fans that have gone through that, I think, are used to shit just could go sideways at any moment.
Ego waffles retain. There you go. Always a fan of a good ego waffle. With ego waffle.
Whoa.
We're going
moving on from that comment.
Going to the Wumbo. Ethan Page winning in 8 minutes. There you go. Or smacking the shit out of him, if anyone's curious.
Right. Lego my ego.
Getting even better. The women's North American title needs the same energy as the men's North American title. Can Kelani do what her boyfriend Carmelo did with the men's? Yeah, and I think, again, when we start assessing things like this, we look at it through the Carmelo we know now. But when Carmelo won the North American title, it was a surprise. He was the underdog. And same thing when Wes Lee won it. We're like, oh, shit, Wes Lee won? Because that's what that title was for, is the guys that aren't quite there yet. And then give him a little bit of a run. Now for Wes Lee, he might have hit a bit of a ceiling, but Carmelo broke through the glass ceiling, moved forward. That's what you're doing with this belt. But go back and watch the tapes. It wasn't like Carmelo was a main eventer and they gave him the North American title. He made it amazing. He was on the way up. We were like, holy fuck, this Carmelo kid just won. All right. And then he got good.
Facts.
So have faith. Give it a chance.
But you gotta have faith. As we are in commercial break right now, folks, as actually when they went to commercial, so Mensah was in control, kind of booting out Ego onto the outside there. The difference between Mello and Wes and Kelani is just natural charisma. Well, that's fine. You got to give them a little bit of time to grow into a fucking character or personality.
Again, hindsight though, right? Like, we know Carmelo now, Nick. That's my issue, is we see Carmelo now and like, oh, wow, look how great this guy is. But then he was just coming into it. Again, he had to show us some stuff. There was some worries about him. Is he going to be that good? He's kind of a small guy, and he hit it out of the park. His natural charisma, to the point of the comment, got him over to the next level. We'll see. If Kelani can't find that next gear, she'll fade off and someone else will step in
and become obsolete.
Right.
Do you think that we could get the Hardy Boys back on WWE television at all?
I think so. I think there's an opportunity, especially if they're not under your contract. if you could borrow them for a one night thing or like a pop, like for whether it be like No Mercy or I don't know, Survivor Series, like if you can borrow them and you don't have to like be responsible for them long term, you're kind of okay.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think it just might honestly be at this point of just have them for a documentary. I think that's really what they were probably filming for, is just video shit of. I don't know if I'd, because I think if you have the delete, that kind of spooky on, like in the same venue or around the same atmosphere of like the Wyatts and everything, it makes that seem less serious, because that's not serious. And Jeff Hardy, I don't know at this point of, I don't know if I want him to wrestle anymore, respectfully. Like, just leave as best you can, Jeff, respectfully, because I feel anything going forward is not going to help you long term.
Yeah, I mean, I would just do what you need to do to stay in good mind and good health. And again, if you can do what you're doing now and it's not a strain on you and doesn't push you in the wrong directions, great. I do believe, like, I mean, again, will they get I mean, they're not in the Hall of Fame yet. I imagine that will happen at some point.
Oh, that has to happen. That'll probably be this year. Well, then again, do you induct Jeff Hardy into the Hall of Fame in Vegas of all places? You bring Jeff Hardy to Vegas.
Yeah, well, I mean,
temptation is a oh my God.
Again, you're not gonna you're gonna expect them to be an adult and a professional, and
they did in Jacksonville. We saw how that worked out.
Well, again, we knew him going to AEW and not having constraints was going to be an issue.
Yeah,
and that proved out very well. But yeah, I don't think that's we can't.
As we're back in action, and Oro went for the kind of the moonsault into a cutter there, and Ego just caught him midway and just boot to the face. Power slam, two go. Now I feel like Road Dogg from the No Mercy game, hot diggity dog.
Right. I can't take the Hardys wrestling anymore. It makes me nervous. Yeah, I don't think the WWE is going to let Jeff, maybe I'm wrong, jump off an 18-foot ladder. I think they're just looking for that. You put them in a fatal 4-way and they get, a huge pop for coming out, kind of like they did at Mania.
Yeah, but you even have Matt that his goddamn pelvis is, fusing to his spine. On top of that, arose such a clatter. Sammy Guevara made Hardy's skull go shatter.
Shit.
Mensah fighting back. This is as much as this has been a little bit of Mensah will get, a little bit of offense and fire up, and then Ego counters it pretty significantly. This hasn't been a bad showing from Oro.
I mean, not much has happened yet. Big axe kick, though. But yeah, no, good start for sure. The matches are good. Again, that's what the people where, go to the other company if you want to see good matches. We're getting quality matches.
Right. I just got the axe kick now.
Okay, 1 second.
No, you're fine. I got Mint Mobile as an ad on my screen. # not sponsored. I don't even know what you got. Or I'm saying Oro cooking, Oro can go. Well, that's the thing, is you kind of thought this would be a little bit more of a squash. I think this might be a little.
No, I didn't. I think it's going to go. I think it's going to be a fuckery finish, but I think Ethan's going to get the win. And again, I got to give Oro credit for we never really knew who he was until he started getting mad about Noam being hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still wouldn't go full, Shaq, I'm sorry I wasn't familiar with your game here, because he's been doing good, but it's not like he's amazing here. But this is about to be crazy.
Serviceable. Okay. Well, but again, he's hit a few moves. Like, that was pretty cheeky.
Well, and that's the thing, is had no idea what he was capable of before he really never got much of a chance. He was mostly on NXT UK, and then he's been the background cannon fodder to Noam.
Yeah, you don't even really know what his move set is, right? You're like, you're just hitting buttons. Like,
what's your finisher again? I got a tope into Ethan into the announce desk. Am I ahead, behind? Do I need to hit rewind?
I got 1, 2 count. I think
okay.
ahead now.
Yeah.
Metaphor at the ropes. Aura picking up ego. Ego punch. Mensah punch. Ego punch. Mensah punch. Both men punch.
Did you get a springboard kick sending Ethan to the outside? Drop kick on the outside.
Apron. Oro sent up the springboard, drop kick, and out goes Ethan Page. So yeah.
And then I got they're gonna drop kick through the middle rope.
Yeah, you hit refresh, so you popped the head.
Right. Well, I was behind.
Oh yeah, all I had to do was like hiccup it.
That's okay. Well,
holy shit, that kick was awesome. Oro getting back to his feet. Oro getting a good showing. I know there's no excuse to give the guy an opportunity to do something great. No, I'm not worried about that. How come this is not the main event? Because why?
Under the picnic table?
Yeah. Because the tag titles are the main event.
Because you're going to end the show on your biggest moment. This isn't going to be your biggest moment.
No.
Oh!
I think Ethan's just going to let win by count out, or is he going to drag
just powerbomb the out of him. And this picnic table already just split like as evenly as could possibly be.
Ethan throwing Oro back into the ring. DDT. Not the
Glizzies. 1, 2, kick out. I'll give him credit. Oro's just got that I will not die.
Again, young kid. We don't know much about him, but he won't quit. He's definitely putting up a bigger fight than I anticipated.
Right.
We'll come back to that. I don't know. Yeah, we'll come back to that.
Larry, what up? Never fear, Larry is here. Roll through Oro with a 2.
Holy shit.
Right. Another roll or a small package.
Oro wins. Blow my mind. Big DDT.
If he wins, this is ridiculous.
Go ahead.
No, you're good. Or they are trying to make him a champ in 3 weeks now.
No, that's not accurate. They're just trying to make him believable and give him a reason for Ethan to beat somebody in a competitive match. And this is what's happening right now. We're getting a really good match because Ethan beat up Ora's friend. They're not trying to make him a champ. They're just trying to make him good enough to fight the champ.
They're validating why the guy would be, this bitter, and it would have been the whole time of when I see you, it's on site. So guess what? You're going to have to fucking put me out for me to not, for me to not kick out in this match here. You're going to have to fucking end me.
That's what we botched on our face.
Oh,
that didn't go well. But
that was perfect. What the? I think that was like a planned botch because
he slipped, but it works out very well.
Yeah.
Ethan being the pro was like, I'm just going to kick him. Perfect.
And the razor's edge for the 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that was, what the fuck was that? Did he have too much of the glizzy on his shoes when he hopped up onto the ropes there? Because he just was blip.
And again, you might argue, like you said, was that on purpose? But it felt like he slipped. I think he was supposed to come down, land, and then get kicked in the face. But the good news is it looked very fucking smooth. He slips off the rope, and like that, what would you do if you slipped off the rope? You'd wobble and look up and get kicked in the face. Perfect.
Right. So that's why it's almost like he landed like perfectly there. But I wonder though, they kind of halfway showed it on the replay. Did Ethan Page go into the ropes to cause him to fucking fuck up and slip? So I think that's what that was.
Yeah.
I think they did a terrible job of. They didn't show it that well on the replay, so it just literally looked like he fucked up. But I think it's Ethan did that like bounce into the ropes to kind of mess him up, and instead of getting hung up by the huevos, he just fell forward and then ate a kick.
Yeah. NX me.
So let's see. We've got an NX me shirt. We've got a NXT TNXA.
Right.
I just messed that up, but NXTNA. There we go.
As we got the Rascals. 800
Who is
days.
this backstage reporter, and why does she look like she's out of like Little House on the Prairie with this fucking outfit?
This lady confuses me every week. I don't know where they found her.
She came out of a bunker from some place in like Waco or
right?
Something.
Waco. Oh, Wesley getting emotional.
I really think that there's certain people that if WWE gets the chance to sign or re-sign in some cases, the Rascals are going straight to WWE.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout at all.
MGB, I like that. This Miss Mary Madcast outfit. Yeah.
Bro, Western Lee's always crying. He's emotional. He's had some tough times, man.
Right? It's okay to express your emotions as a man. It's okay to be emotional.
I like it. I like it. And I'll be honest, I'm more excited about Trey Miguel than the other two for sure. But at the end of the day, yeah, this lady every week, she just, Anna Green Gables hosting interviews back. The fuck is happening?
That's what I was halfway trying to think of. Literally. Fucking what the goddamn. As up next, we're getting I Believe in Joe Hendry.
All right.
Versus Joe Coffey.
Say his name and he appears. Say my name and I disappear. As folks, we are rolling. We got more to come.
As KJ's taking a pause for the cause right now, as I've got a Lola Vice video package. That's why he had to leave. He was getting, a little hot and bothered, a little verklempt, you'd say, hot around the collar. But I like this Lola Vice, and this is a hell of an ad for NXT here. Oh, it's for No Mercy in Denver, Colorado on September 1st. Let's go. But yeah, I like Lola Vice when she's looking like that and not up there pretending to cry terribly and fakely. Von Wagner put the lotion in the basket. Fair enough. That caught me off guard, Jobson. But we are in a commercial break right now. We're just past the top of the hour, so I will remind everybody as KJ's on a pause for the cause. We are the Wrestling for Life Network. We do this for anything and everything when it comes to pro wrestling. And dare I say, I think we just do it better than anybody else out there. If you want to test us on that, hit subscribe. But we'll be back at it tomorrow for Wednesday Night Dynamite. We've got Jeff Jarrett taking on Danielson with Ricky Starks. No, not Ricky Starks. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. I wish we had Ricky Starks, but Ricky the Dragon Steamboat as the special guest referee, as well as we're on the road to All In. I think we're just penultimate show, a week or two away here. I feel a little bit. Then Thursday, we've got, the Let's Rumble podcast where we're going through anything and everything. You've got me, Anthony, KJ all yelling and screaming at each other, debating all the topics, actually 100%. And then Friday, SmackDown Rampage. We've got the return of Roman Reigns. I still need to know the true definition of what the OTC is for. But then Saturday, I believe we'll be here for Collision as well. And absolutely, you never know what's going to be going on a wrestling weekend. So make sure you hit that bell. Hit that like, share, subscribe, be a friend, tell a friend, let everybody that you know that is talking about wrestling, is watching wrestling, especially all the new fans out there with it, picking up a ton of momentum, especially across the masses. So help us put asses in seats, Tony Schiavone. And you're being a bad friend if you're not spouting the good gospel of wrestling with them. But I'm in commercial break right now. How are we feeling through over the counter? Yeah, well, that's the thing. I did the Prilosec OTC joke before, and I don't think KJ popped for it. I don't know if he's in Canada. They get all the, the goddamn pharmacy ads like we do over here in the States to where, Christ, you can make jokes just off of medications and you can spit a whole rhyme off of goddamn medication names. But anyways, on the clock. Original Tribal Chief. Well, I've asked if is it original Tribal Chief? Is it only tribal chief is it one tribal chief, because if it's original, like the Colonel Sanders recipe, I feel that he's acknowledging that Solo's a tribal chief. If it's only or one, then I think it's more of solidifying that he's the top dog. So I think that's more of what I would say is between the two. But I've seen a lot of people say it's original. I don't know if I like that one. What's happened on the show, Michael? So we had Kelani Jordan beat Tatum Paxley. We had Pete Dunne beat Trick Williams. We just had Ethan Page retain over Ora Mensah, and we're about to get Joe Coffey taking on Joe Hendry. We still have Ren Sinclair versus Kendall Gray. I didn't even know that Kendall Gray was on a roster or who she is. As I thought it was going to be her taking on Carly Bright. And we've still also got the main event of the evening. We've got Axiom and Frazier, Fraxium taking on MSK, also known as the Rascals. Interesting, they went to their NXT name, but Wesley and Zachary Wentz for the NXT tag titles. That's your first hour NXT recap as we're back from commercial break. As Ashante the Adonis still out here trying to play, ladies' man with Jada Parker and Brindley Reese. And Jada just is so good, just out of the gate with this. As she even just shuns him off of like, I ain't worried about you at all. Oh, Ashante just about to get his ass whooped because he's in the middle of a bunch of, tough ass women here with Sol Ruka, Lola Vice. I really like how they've had this whole, cookout barbecue backstage at NXT, and it finally doesn't look like it's one of, the most, overused segment sets. What the fuck is this man's outfit with all the eggplants on it? Like, he is ultimate. Yeah, I was gonna say he's ultimate frat boy dude that's there just to get beat up by all the women. That shield powerbomb this frat bro from Lola, Sol, and Jada through the table.
Once again, proving that NXT did not hire actors to wrestle. Shit.
Right. The man's eggplant outfit was just too much for me. Literally just stopped my train of thought of what is this man wearing? And why did you think that would be acceptable to wear outside?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it was a lot to take in. And they got Adonis trying to be like Mr. Playboy, but not a good one. Like okay. Fair enough.
As I've got Gallus coming out right now.
In what world does wrestling get bumped for tennis? Honestly,
who throws a shoe? Honestly,
put tennis on the app. No one wants to watch it.
You Canadians and your tennis.
Yeah, apparently.
You're big on tennis, apparently. Is it like Olympic tennis or is it just like
holy shit?
Fun? Oh.
Sorry, Nick. The whole crowd started singing before the music. Yo.
You can't even barely hear his theme song because the crowd's singing it.
So loud, so loud.
Well, we talked about it. GCW is doing a whole damn event after this, man.
Mm-hmm. And they all believe.
But this is still great because you've got Booker T there. And I saw the little thing to where Joe Hendry's like, I surprised him. He had no idea till the last minute that Booker T was going to be up there as the president of the Joe Hendry fan club because he doesn't.
Right.
He's not the biggest fan of him.
It's crazy, man. 5-year-old song. It's like, what was that? The fucking cheerleader song. It'd been out for like a decade, and then all of a sudden,
Mickey, you're so fun. You're so fun. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey.
Whoa! Up and over.
Getting just randomly cleared. I was like, Man's just going crowd diving into nothing. Instantly feeds Joe Coffey an elbow.
We believe. We believe. All right, lady and gentlemen, have you made your prediction for this one?
Have you picked your cup of Joe?
Huh?
I said, have you picked your cup of Joe?
Right? Big backbreaker from Coffey.
Oh, they kind of twisting splash here. But yeah, so 2 former members of the Prestige from, the UK scene going at it.
Yeah.
Well, it's a hell of a match. And do you think Joe Coffey is still best used in NXT, or he needs to go up?
I think Joe at any point, I think Gallus at any point could move up. I think they would be perfectly fine. I think they're using Joe as a bit of that veteran enhancement talent. They're using Joe to get guys over, but I'd like Joe to get some love. Again, there's history between Joe and Joe. Plus, Joe's a consummate professional. Rock used the Gallus boys when he was training. Oh, big suplex.
Right.
So if you're going to bring in Joe Hendry and you want Joe to look good, put him in there with Joe Coffey. Joe's a pro.
You do Monday Night Raw, IC division, or SmackDown US division?
Well,
because even then you've got Mark Coffey and Wolfgang in the tag division. Either way they go, it still would be good. I think they'd be better served. I get that they're enhancers on NXT, but I'd like to see them get a kind of a push and a rub.
Yeah. I could see them getting some love. I really do, especially because they are putting in extra work outside and then, gaining good favor with the company. So it wouldn't surprise me at all, Nick. But again, I think it's like others in this, on NXT. Corbin did it for a while. Sean Spears is doing it. Is there, even on your favorite sport teams, they always have a veteran presence to help those rookies.
Yeah, but I'd rather Corbin go back and do it, and Joe Coffey and Gallus can go up.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Do that. So yeah,
you're not wrong.
I'll do this.
Yeah. Gallus says heaters for Drew. I'm down. If it was an all Scots, the Braveheart faction.
Yeah, but I get it. I like it. I don't think Drew needs a heater.
No.
That's the only thing. Drew's strong enough that he doesn't need that. But I could see where you could go with that.
Yeah, 100%. Just in this moment right now, I don't think Drew needs it. But I mean, if say you were in a case where, heel Drew's trying to find a way to finally get rid of CM Punk and he hasn't had luck and he brings in a few friends to help him out, there would be a numbers situation for sure. But again, Drew, you just believe Drew would fuck you up without friends. Right?
He kind of does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and how do you feel about the rumor going around now that it's going to be Punk versus Drew, just a singles match in a Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood? Because I think we're getting Seth versus, obviously, Bronson at Bash, and that's the angle we're going to go, because wasn't that supposed to happen at one point, and then Bronson had a kid, and then they kind of pulled him from some stuff and everything?
Yes and no, to an extent. It was just the fact that, again, in the 2020s, everybody gets real sensitive, and Joe, why didn't, Bronson get on the Australian card, and he had to explain why, and, it's not fair. You're supposed to get shut up. But at the end of the day, I mean, I still think, and you remember what Triple H booked him like in NXT, he was destroying everybody. Did he not have, he had the North American belt for sure, but did he have 2 belts at one point? No. That was Lee. So Bronson had the North American belt.
Yeah, Keith Lee's the only one that had both.
Yes. So, I mean, again, at the end of the day, I think that I like what they're doing with Bronson. I like that they're coming around. I'm curious how it works past, Bronson keeps Seth busy to Berlin. Does he keep him busy past Berlin? Where do we go from there?
Does he go over Seth? That's going to be the interesting thing. Because if it's just he's there for a big monster for Seth to take out, then Maybe it helps Bronson. It clearly has so far. I would like to think so. I want Bronson to get a push. I think he deserves it 100%. But does he actually go over Seth in this?
I think a lot of people would be shocked if he actually did. I admit it. Like, as we see here right now, I'm like, probably not. But if you want to continue his upward trajectory, yeah. Now, often heels have a really good showing. They come up short, but then they find someone to take their frustration out on to keep them relevant. So we'll see.
You can't take out a man like that, as dominant as you did and as impressive with literally we're out here of just, oh my God, like security staff. Will someone just drag the dead body out of the ring here? At this point, you just get a shovel, get a spatula, scrape him off the canvas.
Right.
But
he's just a pair of boots.
Happen and then have him lose in like a 5-minute match to like one stomp.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair. Again, I really don't imagine it would go to that point, but it's still, even if it's a good showing and he takes the L, it's very tricky to navigate coming out of that.
Yeah, you get my sentiment. It might not exactly.
I do.
Fun, but I think I think he needs at least one win over Seth. One true win over Seth, and that's a fucking stamp.
Yeah. Yeah, the only way
that's
out of
it
is
in your ledger of I've pinned, goddamn Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
In probably a prominent ass match on a prominent ass pay-per-view.
Yeah, not wrong at all. As Joe Hendry gets hung up on the top ropes, folks. Hendry gives me Bo Dallas vibes. I get that because he's a motivational singer. Oh,
a motivational singer. All of his songs.
I was going to call him a speaker, but it's just singing.
He's just a positive dude, I guess.
Oh, he's giving us an Eddie.
I was doing Eddie.
Busted.
Oh, that's so good. He did the Eddie of just literally, I'll just jump on here and you guys up and toss you the chair. Oh, right. Ref, see, he hit me. We've evened the odds.
Joe Hendry for the win. Guessing Oba Femi versus Joe Hendry for the North American title. Interesting, Chambers.
No. To me, it's just too polar. It's two fucking icebergs hitting each other a little bit. You have Oba, who's got the biggest momentum, I think, on this show, with colliding with Joe Hendry, who's got some of the biggest momentum in wrestling.
Yeah,
like that's Godzilla meets King Kong a bit.
I like the idea of Joe actually going after Ethan Page and then Josh Alexander helping Ethan Page, because Josh has history with Page and Josh has beef with Joe.
Oh, absolutely. There's still the potential, even before we get done this match, we could see, Josh Alexander. Stomp, clap, stomp, stomp, clap. We will believe. Stomp, stomp, clap, stomp, stomp, clap.
2 count. 3 count.
3
count. And still the Joe Hendry.
The Freddie Mercury of pro wrestling.
Smart, he got the crowd going right as he's finishing the match. It's crazy.
Coffee, you're a cold man, hot man.
But are people in the chat, if you're listening right now and you don't know much about Joe, you've seen him pick up a couple wins, are you starting to understand that this guy is more than just the catchy tunes and the funny jokes, that there is a talented professional wrestler under all of that fun?
Right. Well, I was clicking on small marks where he even said Hendry can work too. He's not all gimmick, and that's perfect. I was going to segue it into how when we interviewed Big Trouble Ben Bishop and everything, and he was even saying of how there's probably 90% of people that sing along with Joe Hendry's song have never really watched him wrestle a full match, and don't appreciate how good he is in ring from bell to bell.
Well, yeah, and again, I think that, you touched on it earlier, going back to Progress and working with Joe Coffey, and heel Joe Hendry has a different vibe altogether, and he works, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm staying in NXT for a lot longer, just like all my Scottish brothers.
I've just signed a contract.
next Tuesday. If anyone has a problem with me, they can find me here.
Bro, so he might just be damn near as official as a referee whistle, my guy. Because he said anytime, anywhere, now he's out here. You say my name, I will appear.
Yo. Yeah, he's becoming like the poster boy for the company he doesn't work in.
Right. Imagine. So we're going to take your top guy who you would have all the attention from, and he's going to be on our show and wrestle all the time on our stuff and put our shit over.
Well, he's going to be on TV twice a week. So the hope is, again, and you see them using the replays of other things that are going on in TNA. So it's, Chase U. Chase U is like NXT's version of Learning Tree for me, bro.
Well, Chase U, I think the name's more fitting because it chases you away. That's really what it is.
I think it's going to chase you away in a second, actually.
No, it was about to. That's why I got the joke in. So it is chasing me away, folks.
There you go. Nick's been chased away by Chase U as they're back in class. Like, I don't even know what they are supposed to be learning at this point. Does anyone out there know what course this is? What class this is? What is happening? Do they just have these weird rallies? Is it more of a cult than a university? As Ridge Holland is offering some inspirational words. He pulled a favor. So next week, Chase U will get a tag team title match against the winner of tonight's match. So that all but squashes the idea that we might get a run-in. Ridge and Chase. They're leaving Duke out. Okay, you see what they're doing here. Learning Tree is 12 times worse. It is horribly worse. It's not even a fair comparable, but Chase U is NXT's version. When Chase U comes on, I roll my eyes, but it's not as insulting as what Jericho's doing to me. So Ridge and Andre Chase are going to challenge for the tag titles. If you do recall, usually that would be Duke and Andre. So you see what Ridge is up to. So, with all that being said, here comes Ren St. Clair. Could be a new classroom. Nope, looks like the same old shit, AJ. Chase U is a wrestling school. Then fucking wrestle. Like, I don't know. They ain't doing shit. Trick still face Pete until No Mercy. Trick and Pete Dunne are seemingly not done yet, Richard. So Pete gets the win, but they fight in the back. So yeah, it feels like it's going to drag out. No Mercy seems possible. Yeah, a few more weeks, not that long. So I could see it. But we go back into commercial break. And speaking of No Mercy, folks, at the end of this month, the beginning of September, we are jam-packed here on the channel. We got more coming your way. We got more Wrestling Court, more shows, more live streams, and we got so much. All in, all out. No Mercy, Bash in Berlin, Emergence from TNA, GCW shows, House of Glory shows. We got all the shows, folks, and we will be here live more than anybody else out there. So like we always say, be a friend, tell a friend. Make sure you're a part of the Wrestling Utopia. And if you can hear my voice right now, click the thumb, click the subscribe, be a part of the family, and don't miss a minute. We love doing these streams, and we will be back at it tomorrow for Dynamite. And we'll see what TK has in store for us then. Chase U is a wrestling school. Got that. Don't believe it. Nope, got that. Definitely. MSK definitely winning. Interesting. Yeah, so why do you think that? Because, I mean, what about the Chase U situation makes you think that, Richard? Andre Chase used to be Harlem Bravado in Ring of Honor. Love that name. That is a great name. And Andre worked in NXT UK as well. The guy's got talent. I think that's what gets lost with Chase. And part of why we see the Chase U hang around, he can actually really wrestle. Like we were just talking about Joe Hendry being just the gimmick. I feel like Chase U, the gimmick kind of overshines the talent a little bit, but at the end of the day, Andre Chase can legitimately wrestle. Go check out some of the stuff he did in Ring of Honor, some of the stuff he did in NXT UK. He brought a lot to the table. Thank you, sir. Thank you. We're not even trying. That's the best part. Go, Ren. I wish Joe was a world champ. Eric, patience, Grasshopper. We'll get there. Joe Hendry, to me at this point in 2024, Joe Hendry is pretty undeniable. He is one of the biggest draws in TNA. He's becoming one of the biggest draws in NXT. He will be back next week. We'll see him on Tuesdays and Thursdays at times, and prominent in both shows. I like it. I think it works well. And again, as a big fan, he's undeniable. What he's doing is undeniable. The last time I felt kind of like this organic groundswell was LA Knight, like this, like where the fans just love the guy. And I hope it continues to for Joe all the way to the main roster, because Joe on the main roster would be great. I wish I could stay, but I can't. I had to say hi to KJ and Big Nick, my favorite YouTubers, and see you guys tomorrow. Braden, we wish you could stay, but thank you for stopping in and saying hello. We appreciate it. KJ, did you hear the news that NXT is going on the road? Yes, 100%, Kyle. We talked about it to open the show tonight. Think it's really cool. Get NXT out there, see how they do with ticket sales. Their ticket sales have been very strong this year when they've left Florida and gone elsewhere. So, yeah, big show. You're going to put CM Punk on the show in Chicago. It's going to sell tickets. You're going to sell out the venue. Then you go down the road to St. Louis. You're going to sell tickets. You're going to sell out the venue. I'd be shocked if they didn't. And I feel like NXT is in a place where you're going to fill those buildings and then you're going to entertain the fans. I think you're going to get quality programming, quality wrestling matches. And again, you might get a Joe Hendry. You're going to get a CM Punk. But who else will you get? Very, very curious. Gimmick, Hurt, Andre, go back to the Duke and Ridge in a tag team. I thought they were heading towards Ridge and Duke together. I don't know what happened. But Spears talking to Jensen in the back. Jensen's pissed off. Spears is trying to be his sensei. Uh-oh. Spears and Jensen against Hank and Tank. As we are still in the back with the party, I predict the first main roster match is John Cena. I predict his Joe Hendry? No. I don't know if you're talking about who you're talking about, TJ, but if it's Joe Hendry, that's nonsense. I don't see it happening. FSW versus House of Glory matches for the title for title. It's going to be an interesting show. As always, Damien, should be very interesting. We look forward to possibly being here for that one. We don't know. Chase you over the learning tree any day. 100%, John. I almost feel bad for referring to Chase U as a learning tree. Oh, as Robert Stone getting beat up by Stevie Turner. I doubt we see Chase U versus Axiom again. Oh, okay. So that's part of your take, is that you'll mix it up. But the OC are here. And it looks like they might pick a fight with Hank and Tank. Robert Stone KO'd. They couldn't film this like outside. Oh, we're about to fight. Let's go. As we got the chubby Lex Luthers taking on, or Lugers taking on the OC. That might be next. We'll see where that leads. Joe Hendry, yep, got you. Okay. Yeah, I don't see him fighting John Cena. I got to get me some of those U.S. flag overalls. They're aggressive. So now they are talking about the fact that they're going to be in Chicago. CM Punk will be there. They're going to be in St. Louis. Randy Orton will be there. Insane. OC versus Hank and Tank. Yeah, maybe next week. KJ, with the low viewership in AEW, I would not be surprised if Khan puts the title on himself and books himself as Tribal Khan. LOL. Listen, there needs to be a come to Jesus moment for AEW. And I've said it all along. I want to support it. We watch every single minute of AEW programming. And we want them to do well. but it's not going well. You need to sit down and assess. We're 5 years old. What is working? What is not working? What could we do better? And why are people tuning out? I don't give a shit about, oh, the Olympics and oh, this and oh, that and oh, SummerSlam. You moved Collision because you hoped more people would watch Collision if you put it on earlier. What was it? 100 and something thousand. It was not good. 200,000 viewers. Like, again, not the be all and end all, but those are incredibly low. What's the point of moving it? Just leave it at the same time and hope for the best. But either way, they're screwed. And I just think they need to figure it out. And I know the people who are diehard AEW fans don't want to hear this, but you gotta be honest and be realistic and go, what am I getting for my money? As a fan, what are they giving me? And could they do better? As now we got Light Bright taking on Ren Sinclair. The match has started. I don't know if anybody's made. Ren wins. All right, we got one vote. Kendall Gray has potential. Oh, is she fighting Kendall? It's light or bright. That's what they are to me, Richard. Light and bright. Ren for the win. Okay. This is the best they can do tonight. This show sucks. Wait, what? Paul's mad. I would not say that this show has sucked in any way, shape, or form, even though I admit I do not much care for this match, but I got to stick to my word. You got to give the young talent opportunity. So we'll see. I know nothing about either of these women, really. Ren for the win. Ren. She's fighting light. Thank you, MDB. I wasn't sure if it was light or bright, but it ends up being light. Okay, thank you. Dialed in. High cross body. Down goes Ren for a 2 count. Nice arm drag. Uh-oh. Arm drag. Ren was in AEW for a bit. Yeah, for, dark, for a cup of a sip of tea, couple jobs. So, yeah, I mean, again, I'm not saying she can't do it. I just don't know if she can or can't. And right now, I'm not overly invested. Like, this is a nice, like Nick gets to take his time on his pause because, like, all right, nothing's crazy is happening right now. You just want them to have a good showing. So far, so good. This is still developmental show. People like Ren and Kendall need reps. That's exactly. I agree. I can't be a hypocrite, right? Like, I can't. That's what I accuse the IWC of doing a lot of times. Of like, they never use so and so, and then you use them. They're like, what about the other guy I wanted them to use too? And like, can't use everybody. We got to give everyone a chance. Like, we got to work this out. So, yeah, you got to give them TV time. You got to put them in there. You got to see what they can do. And for my money so far, they're doing all right. I think part of my issue is I don't much care about Ren and her whole like quarter pound crew, blackmail Tony D storyline. I don't love it at all. Oh, stretching out Kendall. Watch Rage get kicked out of Chase U and join Sean Spears. No, I think it's going to be Duke is the one that turns. And I thought they were going to do this a long time ago. But I think Duke gets fed up. And then he's the one that knows Ridge is evil, but nobody will listen to him. And he'll just be fed up and sick of this shit and move on. That's my take. So we are getting a slight let's go Ren chant, I think. Ren wins. Hey, KJ, AW is in a lot of trouble. Fans are in denial. Stop the denial. Fix the problem. Philip, I thought about this today. I really did. When I was looking at the numbers and looking at the ratings and listening to some people talk about it and reading some comments, I really put a lot of thought into this whole situation. I'll talk more about it tomorrow. But here's my question. If it is as good as everybody says it is, if you are not making mistakes, if things are just great, as Ren sorry, there was a distraction. Oh wait, Dempsey helping out, I believe. All right, but I think that if it is what it is, it doesn't matter if SummerSlam's on. It doesn't matter what's on Wednesdays. If you have a loyal, hardcore fan base, as Ren St. Clair gets to 3 with a little bit of assistance, I think. There you go. Don't really care for her music either. All right, Ren St. Clair with the W, folks. But yeah, I mean, where are all these people? Like all these people you see online, like, oh, the show's killing it. Like some of the weirdest, outlandish takes, and that's fine. You got your opinion, fine. But when it's so not based in reality, I worry about you. But where are these people? Why? I know there's one person.
I was going to say, speaking of people that you worry about are outlandish and have terrible takes, 100%, my guy. You just described me. I'm back.
As Ren St. Clair gets the win, Nick, in a bit of a hi guys match.
Richard Martinez, RM there, said it perfectly in the chat because I was watching when I was on my pause there. This is where you still have to remember this is still a developmental. I know it's been cooking enough to where it's back to where it felt like, oh, it's a third brand and everything. Of when it was the Super Indies when we had, Adam Cole as your world champion and you had them involved in, Survivor Series and everything. But it's still at its core, it's still a developmental brand.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. We talked about this earlier about the fan base, and I even said it. Like I fully support that. I can't be hypocritical because that's what frustrates me. Of like they never give people a chance. Then you book the match, and people are like, "The fuck they booked this one for? I don't want to watch this." Well, then we don't have a fourth show to put the people that you want booked, but don't want to see on your third show. What do we do here? You got to meet me.
That's level up, and no one watches that. So what the fuck are we doing here?
Sorry, Javon's talking about Albert.
Oh yeah, with John Tenta.
Look at the size difference.
Oh yeah,
Lord Tenta on TV.
But he's been like the most underrated guy in WWE. I feel because NXT isn't even fully the way NXT is if. You get Hunter and everything like that, but if Matt Bloom's not there at the Performance Center trading 95 to 99% of these guys and gals, then it's a whole different ball game. Like him, Norman Smiley, I think Finley's been down there. Regal's probably been down there before. All that, right?
Matt Bloom, Mensah, that's Albert. He'll always be Albert to me. TNA, man. That's an Albert with.
That's just because of Trish. That's only because of Trish.
And man, dude, when she debuted and started cutting those promos, laying on the table, trying to seduce Bubba Ray, a young KJ fell in love for life.
That is when KJ became a man. That.
Yeah, and then when you your local coffee shop, there's a big window just painted with her on it every morning, and you're just like, this is an all right situation.
Is that a closeted way to say you're a window licker?
In that case, yeah. You ever see the gif of the kid just tonguing it? Yeah.
Stratus tastes like the Stratusberries taste like Stratusberries. Shit.
But ladies and gentlemen,
I didn't even get the joke out. Sorry.
No, but what I was saying when you got back here was that for all the people that are harping on how amazing AEW's been and I love it and I can't miss it and if you don't get it, you're stupid and WWE sucks and where are your fans? Where are you guys? Why are you not watching Dynamite? Why is there not 1.5 million people watching Dynamite? Why is there not more people? What was the point of moving Collision to do that shitty of a number? You could have just left it where it was and probably did the same goddamn number. To me, if you guys are diehard fans and you want to prove that this company is the shit, you should all be out in droves. It's like they talk about supporting sports leagues and you got to support fill the building. Let's go. Put everybody in there. If you're fans and want to see it succeed, prove it.
If you're going to talk about it, you better be about it.
Yeah. Instead of watching, you don't watch Collision, you watch SummerSlam and bitch about how much you hate SummerSlam for 4 hours and didn't even watch Collision and then go, oh, our company's way better. My favorite company is way better. WWE doesn't do anything good. But where are the numbers? Where are any analytical analytics that will support any of this? That will confirm what you guys are telling me that my eyes are seeing. Like, where is any proof that what I'm watching in front of me is not what I'm seeing? Like, help me understand.
And to me, it's not even to say that AEW is bad, even with that argument. It's more of just,
No.
okay, but if you're gonna big it up to here, then you should be watching it. And why aren't you watching it?
Yeah, dude, like you and I are diehard wrestling fans, man. I mean, it's not like we look at each other and we're like, yo, bro, pole vaults on the Olympics. We got to take Tuesday off. No, we're here for Tuesday. And then we're here for Wednesday. And then we're here for Thursday. Like, if you truly are a diehard fan, you make time in the schedule. Like, you're like, oh, we're losing viewers. The people who are watching fucking Equestrian are not the same people watching Dynamite. Let's be real.
They weren't gonna be there anyway.
Like, fuck.
Well, and that brings me to my Meltzer thing a little bit, and also, we still take a Saturday or so off because we are human. But that's the thing is we more of just we won't watch it live. It doesn't mean we're not watching the rest of it. We still come back on a Sunday, a Monday, what have you, and still talking about everything that happened. But anyways, no, Meltzer was talking about how Raw, I believe, did like 1.73 million or something like that. And was saying how, see, this shows how the Olympics is affecting everybody, because if this wasn't the Olympics, a post SummerSlam show like that would have probably done like 2 million, because it was good English. Like, he put over Raw, but never mentioned at all the fact that it also had moved to Sci-Fi or anything like that. It might have been down a bit as well.
But when you go from like 1.5 to 1.3, you're not that worried, and you can understand, and you could say other shit does have an impact. But when you have to keep changing the other shit, you're the common denominator. Like, you are the one thing that stays the same. You are the constant. Oh, it's the dog show. It's the Olympics. Now it's the playoffs. Like, so what you're telling me on paper is that everything is more entertaining than your show. And the only time you guys are going to do a good number is when nothing else is going on. We need the world to fucking end to pop 1 million.
Hey, 2020, that's when they were popping millions. Just saying, might have coincidental. As I've got Oba Femi right now, and
wow. Tony cuts off Oba. You know that.
That's a bad move. That's a bad decision, my guy. There's nothing he can do. He's gonna beat the piss, tar, and leather out of you, sir.
Dempsey's gonna fight Tony. Next week's shaping up all right too.
Yeah, but this is also very much setting up for like a Survivor Series-ish type match here, because you've got, you'd have a 6-man men's match, and then you have the singles women's match, unless you're going to do, cross-gender wrestling, as Eddie Thorpe taking on Lexus King next week as well. I almost said tomorrow.
You know what, Paul? I will agree with you to an extent on that. And you're right. You know what? When you say let them wrestle, you need to get reps in. Paul does have a really good point, though. Fine, you give them their reps, but this is the Great American Bash. You couldn't put a better match than Light Bright versus fucking Ren in there.
Valid, but they need to have people go to the concession stand. They need to have people use the restrooms. They need to sell merch. But I do agree, that does make sense. Yes, it's still, you should maximize your opportunities.
Right.
As I've got
MSK like you said, sorry, Nick, but it's like you said, it's a bit of, I hate to say this for the young ladies, but it's a bit of a palate cleanser between Joe Hendry and the main event.
Yes, it is 100% one of those of you go take a walkabout, you go use the restroom, you go buy yourself an MSK t-shirt, or you go to the Wrestling For Life Network merch store and grab yourself a Wrestling For Life t-shirt today. Don't click on the video unless you're going to do the whole thing.
Right.
I did up last time.
Oh, I'm not clicking on the video right now. Maybe at the end, but
right. I got MSK right now.
Listen, just for the record, that was my favorite merch pitch ever. That was a thing of
terrible. Beauty. That was terrible.
Wicked. Even Steiner Math. If anybody wanted proof that we are live and unscripted, you got it.
Facts. That was my Steiner
Math. That was your Steiner Math. Jesus. All right, folks, your main event is setting up, and we got Batman, not Man and Robin.
Fraxium or,
Axiom's pretty good as a name.
Well, I still pop myself because of just even the backhanded joke of not man because he's a kid. So literally, I'm just a dork and pop myself inside of it. So yeah,
sometimes shit works out.
Right.
The same people that are watching The Big Bang Theory are not watching AW Dynamite. Just wanted to point that out. Facts. Thank you, Anthony. But that's my argument. Again, if you guys, it's like the episode of The Simpsons when nobody votes for Bart because they were all outside fucking having treats. And they're like, nobody voted for me? Nobody voted for me for class president? And they're like, I forgot. That's what it is. All these fans are like, we're the best ever. You're like, did you watch? No, I missed it. Did you watch? No, I missed it. Did anybody watch? Oh, Rampage shit. Collision's boring. What are you doing? I thought
there's plenty of other content creators that do similar to what we do and everything, or imitate what we do and what have you, but that won't watch a Rampage, that won't watch a Collision, that Christ, that you dare say ever catch them watch a Battle of the Belts or anything like that. We've gotten to the point to where AW won't focus on it enough at all. They won't even pitch it out there. So why should we? We'd be more advertising for Battle of the Belts at times than AW puts out.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
But we are about to get ding, or we just did. So we are underway. Let us know, folks, who you're taking, whether you're taking MSK or you're taking Fraxium for the NXT tag team titles. And I believe they announced the winner already has an opponent next week. I can't remember who they're going
against. The winner's gonna fight Chase U, but it's Ridge and Andre. They pushed Duke out, or Ridge did.
Boo. Ridge and Dukes actually sounds like a decent tag team. Even if they weren't in Chase U, like they could be a little upper, middle of the road tag team there.
Well, what they've set up is that it was Duke and Andre that had been teaming together. They were the champs. So now Ridge is like, oh, I got us a tag match, but I'm gonna take Duke's spot. Duke's pouty. The writing's on the wall.
But it should have just been Duke and Ridge. I'm actually wanting something with Ridge, so that's the way you should have gone. But
yeah.
Frazer and Wesley right now in the ring, just going back and forth here. I'm going MSK. I assume you might be as well. I don't know.
I'm just for shits and giggles. I'm gonna go against. I'll go not Man and Robin.
Fair enough.
Just because you never know. But I
kind of and also. I know we got Joe Hendry saying he was going to be here week after week, night after night, but how much is TNA going to put the Rascals on loan?
I don't know. Again, as long as they're going back and forth, and the way TNA works is, they show up, they do their tapings, they're free for 3 weeks. So you know what I mean? Like Joe's going to be on TV Tuesday and Thursday, but only work Tuesday.
Oh. Bronco Buster by Nash Carter.
Dusty Cup winners. Yeah, good reminder on that one.
Well, but this is a over aggressive Bronco Buster. Like that went far too long.
Dude, you're leaving skid marks on my chest.
Right. Whoa.
God, MSK for the win. Title changer MCMG ends the show. Why not both?
Right. Both is
well,
good.
That's why I kind of hesitate because they announced the Chase U rematch next week. And I'm like, well, that'd be weird unless MCMG shows up and then they sit ringside for next week's match. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, could be.
Must secure knee pads.
Frazer up and over, and he just sat with Logan Paul hit it almost so clean that they go right over top of him.
Dude, he landed in a perfect sit on the floor. Big moonsault. Yo, We'll save it for later. I don't want to get into
No,
it.
go ahead.
Axiom
Go
just
ahead. Go
reminded
ahead.
me.
Go ahead.
Axiom reminded me of hologram, and I saw people today of like hologram and Mortis got added to the roster on the website, and I was like, what the fuck are you celebrating?
As we will. Hey, that ties in perfectly to mid-match of Axiom and Frazier grab the tag title belts and just throw them up there. What the fuck are you celebrating? And then we go into commercial break. But yeah.
MCMG is trending on X. I think it means they're showing up. I can just picture Damien sitting on the edge of his chair. Just let's go.
If it happens, fantastic. But I also think it's, again, Twitter will be ablaze and just put anything out there of just try and almost, tweet it into existence.
Stir the pot, right?
Well, and it's still, if it happens, it'd be amazing.
Right. Joe Hendry will be facing Wolfgang on Thursday's Impact. There you go.
Interesting. So you're getting the NXT crossover the other way. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
The best story in NXT is Wendy Chu's Twitter game. Oh, do elaborate on that little ditty.
I don't bother to even be entertained by that. I don't even know what it. I haven't looked at any of it, but you can have that.
That went from Bronco Buster to assault.
Yeah, that's assault, brother.
How the hell do you watch Impact nowadays? Impact's been great, man. If you can sit through 2 hours of Dynamite, you can sit through 2 hours of Impact. And if you tell me that Impact is far inferior to what you get on a Wednesday or a Tuesday, that's crazy.
I appreciate the sentiment. I'm sure TNA does and everyone does as well. I don't think that's exactly what the question was. I think he was asking literally, how can I find it?
I'm defending TNA to the ground. And that one was for you. How do you?
Because Dale's like, if you can watch it on Access TV Live, you can also watch it on the YouTube membership, but you watch it about a half hour later, commercial free. It only costs you 99 cents a month. Yes, there are options and there are ways. And TNA will take KJ will take TNA to his grave.
Well, Paul, I mean, I think we're so wired to be like, put them up. My bad.
You'll do fucking nothing.
Dude, you're gangbanging on breakfast? Why are you so angry? Stop being angry, bro.
That got aggressive fast.
There you go. Thank you, Dale. That was a much better answer than mine. I still feel like they were teasing that Axiom and Frazer are going to break up. So I don't know.
They have been a bit because, the moonsault and the super kick.
TNA is more watchable than AEW, says Damien.
We saw something similar. I think it was in the Mensah Ethan Page match, but I like that there's been enough time between those two that it doesn't seem redundant. Wesley just pacing up Axiom right now.
Hell, I'm a fan of wrestling. Then you came to the right place, Gordon. That's what we do here. We watch all the wrestling.
Right.
And I feel like we've earned the right to have an opinion on all the fucking wrestling we watch.
Facts, my guy.
I enjoy TNA more than AEW. That's two votes for TNA.
City. Well, and then Paul, no, I'm legit asking, is it on YouTube? What is it on? It is on Access TV and it is on the YouTube membership. 99 cents a month. Again, hashtag not sponsored, but if they'd like to, we'd be willing.
Like I said, my apologies, Paul. I'm used to you being a feisty one, so I was ready to go like, what do you mean?
Well, yeah, no, he was feisty earlier this evening, and now he's like, calm down. The vitamins are finally hitting.
Big kick from Axiom. Zachary up top, stuck. We're going to get another Spanish fly.
Oh.
Big Spanish fly.
Absolutely. And then instantly, Frazier got him lined up, keyed up for the corkscrew splash there, the Phoenix splash. 1, 2, and Wesley breaks it up.
He goes to the middle of the ring with that landing.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, if these motherfuckers fly, when they announced this match, I was instantly like, This is just going to be high spot city.
Well, it's funny because I think like for a while, at least with me, I was like, can we just not have the belt on these two? And they keep having banger matches. And I'm like, all right, I got to stop being so mad at Axiom and Frazer. Like they're putting on a good show.
Oh, absolutely. And they're arguably one of the better, tag teams right now, you'd say, in WWE. Oh, I know it's in a mask, but Axiom's jaw is in the front row right now. Corkscrew cutter. One, two. 2 and 9 3/4. We're Harry Potter in this bitch. 2 and 9 3/4.
Dude, his hand was close, my guy. This is awesome. Bring it out.
Absolutely, this is awesome.
This is my favorite.
Wait, we've got Bronson Reed in the chat. The Samoan Watchman stopping by to say aloha. I acknowledge my twin Bronson Reed. Show some respect or get smashed. Tsunami.
I'll never forget that. Tsunami. Some people commented on the video of like, and then they just kept doing it. It was like, like just bitter. I was like, oh, come on. It was so good.
And then.
I was just mad they wouldn't move him. Like there are 8 men standing there just watching.
Security is more to blame for anything. Just move the dead body.
He can't jump all the way.
Grab a spatula and just scrape him off the canvas. Superplex and roll through.
Suplex. Love it. Suplex, super kick combo.
Oh, 1, 2, 2 go. Oh,
I think I'm gonna be a hiccup.
No, that's fine. Well, I didn't know if Frazier was reacting to the kick out before he happened. Oh, sets him up for the super kick. 1.
There it
2,
is.
3.
Axiom with the win.
Wow.
What a
like
match.
in tears. Like, is he weeping already?
Oh, don't start crying already. Fuck.
There's no crying in wrestling.
Not again. We defended him earlier.
Right.
The crowd cheered one more time. They did. They started like, do it again.
Literally, we were out here popping the whole time. We were just like, keep fucking doing it. Do it until they move him.
It was the funniest shit, though. Like, just someone standing like in between. Well, I guess you don't want to get hit by that man coming down. Like, I'll take you out too. I'll go from a tsunami to an avalanche real quick.
Right.
All right. Sign of
we're
respect.
Gonna get a little show of respect here. Oh, we're gonna be getting something. But we're on a roll run. So do we get anything? Come on.
Are they gonna jump Wesley?
Oh, hell. This can't be the way you end this. We need something, or otherwise this little weak sauce, applesauce.
No, I think they're going to beat him up.
That's going to be insane.
Or is Wesley going to beat them up?
I don't know. It's one of those of like someone's got to turn heel or something.
Oh, you're going to cry. I'm going to cry. Then we're all going to cry. But I feel like someone's about to get kicked in the nuts.
I really... It's getting that vibe.
Super kick!
Whoa!
Down goes Trey. Kick in the nuts. I called it.
Oh, right. God, what the... You called it, my guy. I felt like, honestly, was getting that vibes of like he was crying because like we're going to have to hurt you, my guy. And instead, he's just super kick. That's your brother. Dick kick.
Wesley turns on the Rascals.
As instantly, we've got who had this on your bingo card?
We had a lot of things predicted for tonight. I never thought a turn was going to happen so soon.
I never thought you'd see a turn amongst the Rascals, to be honest. I thought that's a little bit like the new day of y'all just stay together because y'all play together. Blah.
And heel Wesley's interesting to me.
Honestly, yeah.
Axiom, 5-1, MDB rolling tonight.
Everybody's fucking crying. Why is everyone crying?
So I'll accept this. It's not MCMG, but Wesley beat the shit out of these men.
Rose Miguel through the fucking barricade.
There goes that partnership. Why?
Why me? Why? Oh,
Right.
he just mushroom stabbed that man's forehead against that ring post or the ring steps there.
Rude. Wesley's just had a mental break. He keeps losing. He's had enough. He's snapped.
I can't keep.
And we're getting asshole chant. Sorry?
No, that's what it is with him. Of I just can't keep fucking losing.
Yeah, I mean, I assume Wesley at some point is going to explain, like, I was fucking tired of losing. I'm tired of these. These guys are holding me back. I don't care. I don't know, but man, that was a nice, shocking twist. And know what's crazy? You turn Wesley into a heel, beating up TNA talent in an NXT ring.
Yeah, but and it's really interesting. You never even a heel turn to me, at least amongst the Rascals, never would have thought it. Everybody's riding sky high with them. We thought, Christ, they're going to win this, and they're just going to, run them to the fucking wheels fall off. Of how much are they going to be on NXT? They'll be out here every week like Joe Hendry, and then we get Wesley turns, and you called it initially, and I wasn't really going with it, and then it was just like the last couple of shots. It looked more like I thought they were going to turn on Wesley and kind of root him the fuck out, because that's why I thought, we're crying up of I'm going to have to kill my brother, all of that, and then he turns and just super kicks the out of Trey Miguel, and then nut shots, Zachary Wentz. To see that, everybody go from yay, we got the Rascals to oh, what the shit, Wesley, calm down.
Now we're mad. You ruined our fun, you fucker.
Right.
But yeah, no, there was just a moment there. And again, folks, we're live and just making shit up as we go. Literally, there was just one moment where Wes looked more angry than sad. And I was like, oh, I think he's going to kick somebody. And that's all it was. It was just a wild guess. I actually didn't think Wesley would be the guy that turned. Like Trey Miguel and Zachary have been heels in TNA as of late. For quite a while.
Right.
And maybe Anthony can correct me if they're currently riding that heel wave. But yeah, again, you run into, I'm surprised, but we will take a rating out of 10, folks, as NXT has gone off the air. So get in that chat. What did you think of tonight's show? What did you think of Great American Bash Night 2? I think I might have liked Night 1 a little better. But
I was just about to ask you. That's a secondary question. You can even put it as a poll of whether you liked Night 1 of Great American Bash or Night 2 better, because I was just thinking that I would go with Night 1 of I think that and it's again, you run the risk. We've seen it with Manias even of Night 1 at times always feels better than Night 2 because it just got the opportunity to go first. But I really think that what they did with Night 1 was really good. Like they had shit already going in a week or so into it. I feel like a lot of Night 2 was set up off of Night 1, which I don't always like that as an idea. Okay. I think you should go into a 2-night thing or a 2-week thing of you've got so much stuff that you've got to spread it out versus you've got one that 3 day sets up the second one.
Yeah, a valid point as far as you have enough there that these storylines are going to play out on week 1. These storylines are going to play out in week 2. Yeah, we have an opportunity to take something like a Joe Hendry moment and sprinkle that into Night 2. But you don't want to kind of just be going into Night 2 kind of blind, right? Ethan and Oro had a bit of a build. Joe came out of the last week. Kelani, Tatum was kind of last week. So I see what you're saying to an extent. And I feel like I think overall the quality of what we got was a little stronger last week, the highs and lows. And as much as I like that turn at the end, the match was good. There was no bad matches tonight. Even the Ren match wasn't a bad match, but it just wasn't a whole lot of I'm in, I'm really pulled into this.
Yeah. As I'm seeing Sevens, Kira's a 3 out of 10. Bo said so. 7.5. Or I'm saying Night 1 much better. 8 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10 from Boston. Well, BH is saying about how the promo from earlier made it feel like the Rascals were turning on West. Nice little flip. So either way, it gave off then initially that vibe that they were turning on him, and Wes is the one that turns. And like you said, you've got the NXT guy turning on TNA talent in an NXT ring
and getting heat. So it's pretty interesting that way. And again, there was even a moment when Trey Miguel stepped away, like to set up the super kick. But I thought he stepped away because you know what happened. You know, the minute the guy turns his back, I'm like, oh
yeah,
a bit of bait and switch. I don't mind it. I thought the ending of the show was nice. A lot of people thought MSK was going to win. They didn't win. West can't apparently win. So this is he broke tonight.
That has to be the justification for his heel turn, because I think what makes it either way it went to me, I like it because I just personally never thought that they would ever split up. The Rascals, they've always been halfway at times in different promotions, what have you. They've spread out to the rest of the world. We finally got them a bit back together, and they've always kind of had that like almost New Day vibe of you feel like they're never going to be split up. Not say they won't ever be heel, but they'll never break up.
Yeah, I admit that I think I'm a little surprised with how quickly, like, well, we're back together. Yeah, no, we're not. Like, I was a little surprised, but we'll see where it goes. See, that was dumb. Let it play out, Tony. Don't be mad in the first half. When we see where this goes, then you can tell me if it's dumb or not. And if it's dumb, I will agree with you. But what just happened wasn't dumb. We just don't know where it's going, and we didn't expect it.
Let it get to the second act.
Yeah, let it go somewhere. Like, I thought it was a cool move. And again, you give tag team wrestling in a prominent position. I'm happy.
And again, like we talked about, of people why they were questioning of why is it the NXT title match, the last one, etc., etc. You had your biggest moment and the show. If you had that moment at any other point in the show, show's over. No one else is really paying attention to too much of anything else that's going on. Now we need to know what's going on with that. Now we need answers. Now somebody stick a microphone in Wesley's face. Catch him before he leaves the building. Why the hell did you turn on them?
Yeah, they'll have like fucking Twitter exclusives as they're leaving the building. And no, I'm all for it. And again, like you said, the bigger story gets to go last. Or Ethan getting a win over Aura is not the biggest of things. Ethan will have his main event spots as it's earned and as it makes sense. I need DIY the moment right now. Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Did you get all you got most rating? 12 rounds starring John Cena. I don't know
yes,
how
that's what's coming up. No, that's what's on right now, I believe. On
shit.
Yeah, on Sci-Fi in the US.
Sci-Fi is like, well, this is how we're gonna try and keep our wrestling fans, is we'll just have another wrestler pop up. 6.5. 6.5. I think you got all these ones.
No, I haven't actually. 7 out of 10. TJ 4.5. 4.5. Kyle 7.5. Bo said so. I was Bash. What? 12 rounds out of 10. 8 out of 10 because of Wesley heel turn. Chris Leclerc, what up? John C saying he doesn't like West turns. Oh,
okay.
Now, do you not like West turns or West's turn?
I don't want to go West turn at all.
Right. That's the Hangman there. But you were kind of saying that, though, of maybe it was a little too fast of a turn.
Maybe. But who are we to judge? I don't know where it's going, right? Like, again, we know that this is a partnership. So to your point earlier, you get, not everyone, like Joe's going to be here every week. MSK is going to be here every week. So they need to work out some shit kind of on some of the stories be a little quicker. Like, hi, we did our cameo. We're going to go back to our thing now. Right.
Yeah. But that's a fast one though, with the Rascals though, because like everybody was happy with that. That's one of those of whether you're a tribalist on this side, on that side, what have you. It's just, and the wrestling world was happy that day when the Rascals got back together. And then now this is, again, you said it, it's a little DIY, a little with this of now we've actually got a heel turn of we've got the friendos don't like each other anymore. That's your brother, da da da, and just kick in the huevos.
Yeah, again, maybe Wesley has a trick up his sleeve. Maybe there's somebody he has in mind for a new partner. Maybe it's fucking Wesley and Adonis next week. I don't know. Cedric and the Entertainer.
One and only
Ricochet. Let's go. 6.5 out of 10 for Great American Bash as a whole. Yeah, you know what, tonight?
Well, that's all he's including both nights combined.
Yeah, that's a tougher one. Mine's gonna average out to a little higher than that. Night one was way better.
7 out of 10.
Night one was definitely better. I'm stuck. I'm kind of leaning towards a 7 as well. I could go 6.5, but I wouldn't go higher than 7.
Fair enough. I'll meet you at a 7 because we did still have Joe Hendry. The tag match was good, regardless of how you feel about the turn. We still did have the turn. So granted, we also had Wentz and Claire. That match wasn't maybe not so hot. I know you don't agree with me with this match, but I wasn't a fan of the Women's North American Championship match. I still think that they're going in the right direction and everything with the title. I wasn't as a fan of the match. Leave it at that.
I was just gonna say, ironically, I think it was actually one of the better matches of the night. Like as far as overall bell to bell, what they did, I think it was one of the better ones we got.
I would disagree with you. I would say that was to me a detraction, but we can cross that path at a later date. But yeah, I think I'm there with you of like a 7. I would definitely say that night one to me was way better. Well, and it started off really hot with Trick and Pete Dunne. Like that match was fantastic. That might, maybe almost now I'm like, no, it can't give it a 7.5, 7.25, 7.25,
7.25. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, again, I thought it was a good show. I liked the wrestling. I liked the matches. Even the Ren Sinclair match wasn't a bad match.
I missed it, so I shouldn't talk about it, but yeah.
Yeah, but again, it was a very, it looked like two greener talent, developmental talents trying to establish themselves. It wasn't bad. It wasn't sloppy. It wasn't clunky. It just wasn't the most exciting. But I think I forgot. Like, Trick Pete Dunne was really good. Joe was really good. Maybe just not it was very kind of even all night. We didn't really get, screaming and yelling a lot about a lot of things. And there was no points where I was really bored, but there was no points where I was super excited.
But night one also didn't really have any moments to where you had what you would say were developmental matches on the show of when it's Great American Bash. Like last week had the women's tag match. It had the Heritage Cup match. It had the Jensen versus Cedric, Jada Parker. Well, Jada and Kendall Gray, that's maybe your closest to it. You had the 6-woman tag match, and then you had the women's title match. So there's not a lot of fluff or filler there. Tonight, I think you got, the Ren Sinclair match is definitely fluff and filler. So that might be the difference.
Yeah, a little bit. And again, I didn't dislike this show. I just, I wanted a little bit more. I want to be a little more greedy tonight. You could have done give me just a little bit more of the holy shit, and we would have been fine. But overall,
missing that season.
Right, a little bit of spice on it, a little bit of stank on
it. Little Salt Bay.
Right, funny, James. Worth noting, Ray Phoenix is really banged up. The last 2 years, he's been getting injured a lot. Shoulder injury, MCL tear, back issues, knee pain. His style has really slowed him down, as it does for everybody. I think the advantage of the WWE system is they teach athletes like a Ricochet, like a Ray Phoenix, like others, you're going to do your spots, but you're going to do them smarter, and you're going to pick your spots, and you're not going to fly off everything, and you're going to do it in a way that somebody supports you as you land, and it won't always go perfect, but we saw it with a lot of talent that have signed, even in AJ Styles to an extent of where you're not going to be the guy that you don't need to do 7 topes a night.
Well, and you also don't need to wrestle 7 matches a week because you'll be on, Dynamite, Collision,
King.
Rampage, and Ring of Honor, plus do a show for CMLL or something like that as well.
Right. Wesley went nuts, 100%. Is there anything you're looking forward to tomorrow night on Dynamite? KJ, Nick, I'll let you take this one first.
For crying out loud, you're expecting I remember or know that much about what's down the actual card for Dynamite right now.
MJF and Kyle Fletcher should be an okay match. Like, it should be a good match. I believe we're getting that.
That'll be a good match. I still don't like I like MJF. I hate the fucking America. Like, when did you become like MAGA MJF a little bit with this? And I'm not saying that regarding to specific political parties or anything like that, but I'm saying in the sense of like just so much like fucking America of you're showing up in CMLL and doing like the straight like 80s heel gimmick of how America is better than here, there, and everywhere. And you've got the Star Spangled Suit. Like Hank and Tank wore the same fit as MJF. That might be a little bit of a problem.
A little bit.
Like, you didn't need this Americana shtick to get MJF versus Ospreay, the rematch, over. It literally should have just came down to MJF's whole "I'm better than you and I know it," and Will Ospreay challenging him of "I'm the best wrestler in the world. You beat me by 2 fucking seconds. That's all you beat me by."
That's all you needed. And you cheated. Like, you had to bend the rules. You had to be and just be that guy. Again, I think
that's the feud right there instead of this whole rock flag and eagle.
Yep. And to me, it screams immaturity in the presentation, like in the writing. Like even with the Bucks and stuff, even with Jericho, it's like playing down to a remedial audience. Like, I don't get why you can't just, like, the way you described it was a much better way to approach it. It's mature, it's adult, but you go for that like low-hanging fruit of just America, fuck everybody. And like
but it's one of those of you, I don't want to say it's exactly you put the cart before the horse or anything like that, but it's a bit more closer to like what you said of it's low-hanging fruit of obviously the US, the election's a big thing right now. Very much America. It is prominent, especially during the summer and an election year with an election coming up and everything. So I think they shifted that way to go that way a bit with it, get attention, garner traction that way. Plus, also, we're going to the UK, so we've got to play up MJF as the heel for America when you could just do it the way that makes sense. To me, you shifted for no reason. You shifted unnecessarily.
You know what the ironic part of this year's booking for that is? Last year, they turned Ospreay heel going into the UK so Jericho could be a baby face and do his queen. I would call it a rendition, but it was a murdering, like he does with ratings. Remember the Ted Bundy of ratings. But
it was more Diana than the queen.
Oh shit, yes. And that's and again, that's where with MJF it kind of blows my mind of like, you naturally had this set up. People are going to want to cheer for Ospreay. You just have MJF be MJF. You don't need him being like the uber happy guy we saw with Cole. You don't need him to be this uber Americana guy because that's never been his thing. I mean, we'll see. But then if will it just go away after All In? Will he just stop doing it if he loses?
I don't know, but it's just so forced. It's so out of the blue, unnecessary. Yeah, that's really the big thing.
All right, we're a little off topic, but Dexter Lumis looked great. Yes, he did. I thought the Wyatts looked great in general. Did you have any issues with the Wyatts last night?
No, not at all. And I think that shut up a lot of people that, well, how are they going to, because I was one of them initially, how are they going to translate the spooky to in-ring? And they did a hell of a job with it.
Again, if you run it as creepy, not spooky, it works. And that's what they are. They're a creepy group of people that you don't want rolling up into your driveway when nobody's home. Like
it's strangers.
It's strangers. It is so well, like that's the vibe. It is the Devil's Rejects. It's that vibe. And that's what it felt like last night. Like you're gonna get your shots in. Like You can fight one of the hillbillies, but they're probably going to fuck you up eventually. And
Well,
that's what it is. It's fucking Leatherface.
Well, and it worked too because there was actual selling from them and everything. It wasn't the Fiend to where he's unbeatable. He's Jason Voorhees of you throw everything on him. You've got to hit him with a giant cartoon mallet to keep him down and all. You could actually they'd take a bump. They're selling the moves and everything. They're still human, but they're just I have a higher purpose.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and then it's slightly different with Dexter and Rowan, and then like you got a Gacy who, you can beat the shit out of Gacy, but he loves it. Like that's a different psychosis. Like everyone kind of brings their own little crazy to the party, and we all be mad here.
It's a nice crazy cocktail. Uncle Howdy's. That's why he's got the Howdy's. The Mad Hatter. Change places.
Right. I'm late. 19 days until All In. Let's go. All right, folks. We're going to cut this one off because we're starting to wander into Alice in Wonderland and everything else. But, not a bad NXT tonight. Great American Bash in the books for 2024. We are back tomorrow for Dynamite. Thursday, the Dirt Sheet debate returns where we're going to get everybody from the channel and go over some stuff plus special guests. Friday, the usual stuff. And we got a whole month coming up packed, jam-packed of wrestling, folks. Be a friend, tell a friend, click all the links, follow us on social. Go check out our Discord. That's all I got, Nick. I'm tapping out.
Go to the merch store. Our shit is work. Do you want to do your pitch?
No, we're good.
All right.
Go get yourself.
No, I don't want to do a pitch.
I love doing the pitch. I mean, you just keep talking over it. It's the best thing ever. And then I keep
fair enough, folks. So 100%, we got the finest threads out here in the pro wrestling world. Here we got the Brunch with the Boys tour, special limited edition only for 2024, the summer of 2024. So make sure you get that. We got the podcast marks. We also still got hoodies, sweatshirts, t-shirts, mugs, caps, ball gowns. Your dresses for your weddings. We got anything and everything for your clothing needs. We got your underwears, your garments, your stirrups, your jock straps, all of that.
Get yours today, folks.
I lost Steve at the end, my guy.
All right, we're gonna say goodnight, ladies and gentlemen. I was just like, fuck it, we're out. No, thank you for joining us. Come back tomorrow, and we'll find out more.
And we're going straight to the loony bin. Our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. When you're talking about that wrestling, you're able to put that for life with.
Come back tomorrow. We got Dynamite. See you on the flip side. Good night.